The confidence is overwhelming.
Pow, right in the kisser.
I think we are live. We are now on the internet.
It's
Welcome
us.
everybody. We're the casual ones. This is the Heists and
Woo.
Crimes of Juniper's Eye. This is the finale, numero ocho, the big one.
The icing crimes?
The heists, the icing crimes.
The
Yeah, you guys
icing
use
Oh,
you can use fondant.
we
or
stole so
whatever.
much icing. We got that buttercream. and
Must
it's
have done that
so
episode
good.
offline. But...
Yeah, this is the finale. The crew. What happened last time? Oh boy, it's kind of hard to divide the lines between which wacky thing ended before the last wacky thing started. But you picked up a new job with Torvis Dax as a middleman who revealed himself as an abyss surfer with his crew of guys with specially fit ships that let you ride not exactly within the event horizon, but pretty damn close of a black hole, where you could dip in and out of Imperial detection, which was news to you because you didn't know this was an illegal smuggling run until you were already in the air, in tow behind their ships, straddling your like rockets towards the black hole Kronos. And as you dipped in and out of radio space and visible space, you, for the most part, evaded Imperial detection until the last final moments where seemingly hundreds of Imperial ships kind of dotted the space around you. But in that moment, the ship itself noted a new path that it would have liked for you to take instead, somewhere nearby, somewhere it labeled a safe haven. And so, with nowhere to go, surrounded by Imperial ships, you, Oracle, decided that we would go towards a safe haven as a safer place to be rather than figure out how to deal with these ships. And in addition to that, for the most part, putting a postpone on the job that you're currently working, rather than, being shot out of the sky, which happened the last time you saw the Imperial ships. You found yourself quickly teleported via point drive towards a relatively close location. You can still see the black hole behind us as the ship itself is drifting towards an asteroid. And as the asteroid rotates, the ship is finding itself moving towards, through automatic guidance, a hole, a cave within the side of the asteroid where you are being brought inside. And as you dip into the darkness, radio static begins to crackle out, and you can feel that your scanning and systems are becoming disrupted, which is where we'll pick up now. Aboard the ship, you hear the radio static communications with Torvis as he switches to a long scanner and tries to find you after suddenly you dropped out of space behind him. Unsure where you are, you hear through the systems crackled, broken communications of Torvis, like, "Oh, we lost sight of you. No idea where you went," and crackles out. "It looks like lots of imp ships. We're gonna go on a chase. Good luck." And between that, you also hear the sudden sounds of fire and lasers and rocketing ships and scuffle and crackling. And then you hear nothing.
Good luck, Mr. Torvis.
I don't know if I can hear you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And you're slowly gliding through the dark cavern of an asteroid. Trying any of the scanners, you find that there is no response, seemingly dead air, no in or out. Possibly because you still don't have a long-term scanner or a long-range scanner.
Damn it! I go on the comms. Oracle, you're sure that we're going somewhere safe, yeah?
It's safer than outside.
Fair. I don't like not being able to drive. It's
Well,
very-
maybe we can do something. The ship would have floodlights, right?
Yeah, you can activate some kind of lighting, yeah.
I'll go to the console and turn on the floodlights on the front and the sides of the ship, so maybe we can see some walls.
Yeah, so as you do that, you flip on the lights, and what was just darkness before you reveals itself to be the rocky interior of a tunnel within the asteroid. You see little bits of sharp rock glinting off the floodlights. You're in a cavern, maybe 30 to 40 times the width of your own ship, with no other structures breaking up the rocky texture as you're slowly gliding deeper into this asteroid, which is maybe a kilometer to kilometer and a half diameter as you had approached it before. And you find yourself gliding peacefully toward its center, and just not even static on the radios anymore, just silence.
Is Umber still, are you still locked away in your room from us?
No, I'm downstairs with the Oracle.
Okay.
All right, yeah, you had slammed on some shielding as you were taking debris hits, and gravitational waves were crushing your ship. And,
Yeah, I'll go on comms. But, Cap, I don't know where we are, but I assume, I don't know, there might be some people who brought us here. I mean, it can't just be by chance. We may need you to talk to them, I guess.
Yeah. I'll come up in a minute. And I'll
Okay.
turn off the comms. Oracle, help me. They're gonna kill me.
What? What do
They're
you
gonna
mean?
kill me.
Who's gonna kill you?
The murderer's upstairs.
Ben? No, he just killed
Yes,
the other
yeah.
crew.
Yes, he's gonna kill this crew.
No, Xenon didn't kill anybody. Her family killed people.
That's not the story she said. She
But-
specifically said she killed people.
I think she was just trying to, like, act tough. But she weighs 90 pounds. You
mean, she's
truly
feisty.
afraid of that?
I mean,
Don't go
I
near a
almost
knife.
got. Okay, I almost got eaten by a thing like this big. Of course, 90 pounds is gonna overtake me.
I'm clearly busy here, so good luck.
And as you say that, Oracle, on your screen, you get that thinking feeling again with the pink interface on the display, and it starts to be thinking. And then you hear a bloop bloop, and in the floodlights, anyone up in the front of the ship especially will be able to see, you start to pick up glinting of metal off to the side, and you see a docking bay. And then you notice that the ship itself is in a bit of a free fly, Finn. As you come up towards a docking edge with a pressure chamber and everything that you'd be able to dock with. But noticeably, there is no tether. There is nothing gravitationally pulling you, no adjustance, no guidance whatsoever.
I have to fly this in, or it's happening automatically?
As we kind of approach, you begin to feel that the controls react to you and you're able to slow towards the
Okay.
docking. And it looks like there is no automated docking system here. Can you roll a finesse check for me?
Oh,
If you
boy.
wish to dock, that is up to you.
We gun it. No, I'm joking. No, I'm
Just keep
joking.
going.
Turn around.
Gotta make it through the asteroid.
That's an 18.
Yeah, definitely. With an 18, it's kind of a lost art, manual docking. Everything's done with tethers these days. But you just come back to training, and your ship doesn't crush like a tin can.
Sweet, love it.
And yeah, you dock with it, and you hear the sound of pistons and pressurization changes as you begin to dock with what seems like a more manual docking mechanism, and you get the feedback that you have successfully docked and everything is a-okay. And there's an opening at the airlock.
Hey, Xenon, just a quick question.
Captain.
Does the captain seem to be a little bit more strange than usual?
Yeah, like he hasn't come up here and tried to tell us what to do.
Right,
Or
it's kind of
look
nice.
out the window. It is
Yeah.
nice, but it is
It's just-
worrying why the sudden change.
I don't know. Maybe he believes in us now. You know, like he knows that we can take care of our station and doesn't have to be looking over our shoulder. It's nice. See, I
I-
docked it perfectly. If he'd
Then I
been here, I
don't-
probably would have messed it up.
That is true, but I don't think that's it. The captain doesn't have any trust in us.
That's fair. Shit. All right. Well, I go on the comms. Well, we've successfully docked wherever we are. So, are
Probably should come out as a united front. Cap?
we bringing the grenades?
This is supposed to be a
No,
safe haven.
Yeah, no need for grenades, Finn. I think you can.
I'll bring a couple just in case.
I look at Finn, give him like a little nod.
Just in case. You gotta be safe. And yeah, I'll
Okay,
lock and
well,
load.
Let's suit up and let's get out of here. And I'm gonna like get really close to Oracle. Get beside me.
Okay. And before I leave the mech bay, I just go over to the terminal and type, thank you. Fuck off.
You just get like a little bloop bloop, and then you feel like a little static throughout your systems. And if you guys would like, you can gather your things
Yeah.
and make way towards the airlock.
Yeah.
I'll
speak.
obviously wait for the captain and to take charge, lead us out of there. Make sure I'm behind him at all times,
Right.
watching his back.
Yeah, in the shadows.
Yeah.
For no reason. So the four of you gather into the airlock. Umber, a moment of a flickering image comes back to your mind of you holding Jack, looking out the void of space. A little intimate moment in this airlock just moments or days ago. Do you guys have Jack with you, actually? Is that Xenon? Is that someone you bring with you? Or is this just keeping him in the crate aboard the ship?
Yeah, I always assume that Xenon
Is he
forgets
on the
about him
ship?
on a space station, and then if he makes it back on the ship by the time we take off is really up to Jack.
Yeah, no, yeah. Every single time that you've like left him somewhere and you come back, he's just hanging out somewhere aboard the ship now. And you
Perfect.
would have seen him slithering around, just like Umber had done a chase scene with him before, and when he tried to get into Umber's armor. So
Yeah, then I'll definitely take him with us for sure.
Sure.
So yeah, you just
Okay.
see Jack on her shoulder, and you guys in the airlock. As the inner door begins to close, you hear the pressurization happen, and within a moment the doors will be opening. Anything from you, Umber?
No, I'm just gonna look at Jack, and we're just gonna make eye contact. Like, better not. And then I'm gonna, like, just before it like closes, I'm gonna like make my head as smooth as possible, and then put my helmet on.
Yeah, you see a bit of a
Smooth
crack
going.
where Jack's like pointed corkscrew of a tongue tried to pierce through Umber's membrane of a head. He squeezed it back together where it began to heal slowly, but it's thankfully vacuum sealed again. And as the airlock opens, you open up into a bit of a unlit dark passage where you notice the surroundings are, for the most part, they are still stone, like the asteroid around you, but with occasional bulkheads made of metal. The floor is, while it is mostly stone or concrete, it is not rough necessarily. It is a smooth path, but the walls of the cavern area are relatively natural as you make your way through this really dark, extended pathway. Flicking on any of your headlights, you see that as you go on through this path, it's maybe 10 feet across, and you work your way down for several moments before slowly you open up into a bit of a wider area where it begins to look like, at a glance, kind of like a laboratory of some kind. You see computers and displays, most of them off and unresponsive. As you work your way into the space, a heavy fog and mist and dust floats through the air as you are brought into a different space, and you see mechanisms and beeping and the sounds of life support as you guys are walking around. And is there anything you'd like to do?
Oracle, where the hell are we?
I don't know. I look around. Is there anybody in this room? Or is it just
At a glance, you don't see anybody at all. It's I would say looking almost abandoned. A lot of the things look in disarray. There's a lot of dust settling on all the surfaces. Most of the computers' displays are off. Some of them are just flickering, as if they're going in and out. And yeah,
Can I go to the closest terminal that looks like it's working?
yeah, sure. As you step up to it, you see that this display is flickering in and out, and you see as you're trying to interact with it, maybe boot it up, you see that it's not entirely responsive to you, and it is coming back with broken characters, cryptic information that doesn't actually mean anything. Several computers that you're working with, could you roll a however you like to roll your technology checks?
Okay. Would I get gearhead for this because it's
Yes.
stuff? Okay. It's a 19.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to notice that a lot of these systems are seemingly corrupted. Like the information that it's trying to boot up no longer works, and the displays are stuck in a boot loop where a lot of them are flickering on, flickering off, flickering on, flickering off, and you see the same information trying to start up on these computers, and then they fail repeatedly. And seemingly there is almost nothing left for the actual operating systems on any of these computers. But for the most part, like most that you come across in this room are completely dead. They don't respond to anything. The few with flickering displays don't seem to be working at all.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we have to go farther in. I can't find anything useful in here.
Should I like announce us just in case?
What?
I don't know.
To who?
No, that's my job, so it's
Oh.
just
Fair. I'm not trying to take that from you.
okay. It's fine, I'll wait.
Life support is working, so there might be somebody alive.
Fair.
Okay, let's go further in. Cap, what do you think?
Yeah. Xenon and Finn, why don't you go ahead? Oracle and I are just going to finish up here for a second, and we'll be right behind you.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got this.
Yeah.
And as they walk, I'm just like keeping my hand on my blaster, just fucking just shaking.
You hear the rattling of his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Xenon and Finn, you're able. There's continuing a pathway through this room. You can find your way out to the opposite side, and similarly to the pathway before, you see a bit of a cavern system with bulkheads. It's only a few seconds of walk before you open up into a similar-looking room. There are glass tubes, and some computers here were responding similarly to the ones before. But for the most part, everything mechanical in this room is unresponsive and lights out. No whirring, no nothing. It's just a few badly responding computers, and at the end you see a metal door with a bar dropped over it, as if a locking mechanism.
Like a locking mechanism to keep people on this
Yeah,
side?
like it's from your side. You would just lift it and the door would open.
Just wonder if they're locking something in the
They're
other
just
room.
nonchalantly, like, yeah, locks.
Yeah,
Open it.
Xenon, could you roll maybe knowledge or I mean, depending on how you're getting this feeling, it could be even like your instincts or something.
It's not going to be instinct.
Oh yeah. But however you would respond to this situation.
Yeah, let's do knowledge, but it's a fail anyway, so it's a 9.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing that you notice is that the lock is not firm. Like it's sliding into a position that would keep the door from opening and closing, but there's nothing like above the locking bar itself, nothing to restrain it. That's all.
All right, I'm gonna announce ourselves, just
You
and
really
then we
just
can
want to.
proceed.
Really going to keep pushing on that one, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay. And you all instantly hear it. It rings out with a terribly loud metal echo as she knocks on it.
I pull my gun up and I start looking around just in case.
Yeah, make an awareness check for me.
Umber and I
hello,
are
this
coming
is-
into the room now. Oh, did you find somebody?
We say hello. This is
14.
Juniper's Eye crew here.
And your voice just rings out echoing in the room. And you hear no response.
I look at Finn. Okay, well, I did my job, so gun ready?
Oh yeah, I've got the prime meridian up. Like I'm just fucking.
Yeah, you got the scope on and everything ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Hey Finn, why don't you just put that away for a minute? We don't want to, ruin the hospitality. They think that we're gonna
I'm
be
just
murdering them.
honestly, Cap. In the last few days, things have been really going sideways for us. I'm just making sure that we're okay. Hey, Cap, don't worry. I got your back. I got your
I
back.
hope not. I hope not.
I've
But
got it.
let's
I've got your back.
sure. I got your back, Finn, and I'm gonna like push them to keep walking.
As Umber pushes them forward, Oracle, you notice on within your Motorix mind's eye that works as your kind of electric console and terminal, you see similarly to when you had landed on the tourist trap station before, you see a pathway light up on the ground guiding you forward in a pink light, and you see the line runs under this locked metal door, and accompanying that you feel the mental pressure of an ellipsis, the feeling of this system thinking over a problem. And you feel that same feeling you felt before when it was determining something, and you're the feeling of question marks fluttering outward from it.
Okay. I go over to the door. So we're going this way now.
Yeah. Thanks, Oracle.
Yeah, can you make a strength test for me?
Oh, that's embarrassing. 8.
With an 8, you notice that it is incredibly loud, and as soon as you begin to lift it, it resists, but you do feel it's starting to move upward, and rust begins to flake off the central hinge of it, and it just squeaks, echoing out like all the sounds before, giving you just like a slight shiver through any of you that have actual spines, as the sound of rusting metal scrapes out, ringing to the room. But you are slowly able to keep pressing on if you wish to continue opening it with the sound.
Yeah.
Continue. And after just an
I just go
agonizing
through
moment,
the chalk.
yeah, it finally opens up, and the bar lifts off the latch, and the door is able to swing freely with some effort. It is very slow and heavy, but it does not rust as you pull on it, and it doesn't make any sound aside from some very minor scraping on some debris on the ground. And as you begin to pull it open, you see a slight, like the caverns before, but this time they start to move downwards, and you see the bulkheads guiding down through cavern-like steps as you begin to move downward in a very slow, continuing spiral, and that's what you see before you.
All right, team. Flashlights on. Ready? Is it lighted or lit?
For the most part, there are some very dim, what you would kind of think of as life support lights, backup generator kind of things, very, very faint blinking of some guiding lights. But in these open spaces, it'd be whatever headlights you have between the rooms.
Okay, yeah, flashlights out, crew. Let's go. And I'll just lead the way down, still with Jack on my shoulder. I'm like, Jack, if you hear anything, like nibble my ear or something, okay?
And as you say that, you actually notice that Jack is tasting the air like a snake. You just see that the tongue comes out every once in a while, and its eyes kind of dart around. You see them very faintly glowing in the dark, the 3 electric sparks of an iris dipping around, and then tasting the air as you make your way downward.
As we start going down, I'm actually gonna hang back and kind of slow up Umber a little bit if I can. I'm just gonna say, listen, Cap. I just want to say, I know that sometimes we butt heads, and I give you a bit of a hard time, but I can't help but feel like, especially with this last job, that you've really put a lot more faith in me and my ability to pilot the ship. There's just a lot of trust there that I don't think we've ever had, and I want to say thank you, because this, you may not know, but this job does mean a lot to me. So, just want to say thank you for that, Cap.
You're welcome, Finn. You've been doing such an excellent job. you would have gotten way more stars if you didn't black them out. But yeah, just keep on the good work and just take charge as some people would like to do. So here's your chance, and I'm gonna push him a bit forward. And you're doing a wonderful job, Finn.
Thanks,
I
Cap.
promise you, I've
That means a lot to me.
yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Just stay up there, and you're doing a
Oh, you want me to
wonderful
stay
job.
at the top of the stairs, or?
No, just in front of me.
Oh,
So I can-
okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Hey, I'll protect you, Cap. Don't worry.
Yeah, sure. I believe you, Finn.
Finn, are you trying to assuage Umber's nervousness in any way?
No, not really.
Okay.
He genuinely just did an entire job where he wasn't in the cockpit being an asshole to him the whole time. He's actually. I'm just thankful.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like you're
Oh,
being
yeah.
genuine.
I'm
Okay.
I'm absolutely being genuine. Yes.
Okay. Just for it, would
Sure.
you roll a suggestion for me? I just want to
Sure.
just out of curiosity to
Hell
see
yeah.
if there's any chance that this actually assuages Umber's potential fears.
That's a
of-
7 with my -2.
Yeah. So, Umber, you do feel he's being genuine, but at the same time, that gun looks real strong in his hands.
Listen,
and I do
he-
absolutely have 2 grenades on.
Yeah.
He loves the job so much that he might love Juniper a lot more than the crew. That's how I think of it.
Okay.
Actually, I don't need him. I just need the ship.
I just need the ship.
Okay. As you guys begin to make your way, then following Xenon towards the descent of this cavern, you open up into a bit of a change. You notice that the rock here, the caverns begin to become more jagged and more natural. Less of it has been paved and grinded away to make room for the various lab-like equipment that you had seen in the previous rooms. As you're continuing into the space, you do see that things get narrower, and there is even the life support lights are very dim, and it's mostly your headlamps that are lighting up the surfaces around you. As you look at the room, you do see that crawling mist and condensation on a lot of, similarly to the room before that you had seen, glass tubing that just kind of raises from the floor to, it's about a 9-foot ceiling here, with some natural stalactites coming down. Very, very, very small, but seemingly in some points as you're walking through that they would scrape against your head, some of them falling close enough, and you have to make your way through what looks like more of a natural cave formation with some of this laboratory equipment around it. Can you each roll an awareness check for me?
Sure. Dirty
That's
20.
yeah.
Okay.
13.
11.
Okay. With all of you succeeding, Oracle, you first. You get that feeling of the AI companion riding within you now. You get that similar feeling to thinking before, and you get a feeling of puzzlement and confusion. And that pink line that was guiding you forward kind of begins to fizzle out as it branches out in a few different directions. And you can see that it feels like it's putting out feelers. And you get this sensation of feeling lost for a moment. And then you just feel, after a moment, you feel the equivalent of a thumbs up and a question mark, and safe haven flicks up in your mind. And for the rest of you, within this area, you do see towards the sides, you see large openings, a pair on either side, maybe 9-foot diameter reaching from floor to ceiling. You see big circular pathways with metal openings. It looks as if these would be normally have some kind of valve situation. And they are very large openings towards the left and right of this big room. And beyond that, you don't see any other doorways. You just see these 2 circular openings with metal stud surroundings.
There's no signage or anything around those doorways, is there?
Make an awareness check for me.
Yeah.
So, in my brain, is it telling me one way or the other?
At the moment, you feel those feelers flicking back and forth between the 2 passages, and then the same kind of repeating motion of question mark, thumbs up and safe haven. And you don't get anything further.
That's an
Is there
11.
That
Are
was
there,
that
are
was
there
a-
other race cars
I'm
in
so
here
sorry.
too?
There's literally
Yeah.
someone's racing by.
Something's in here.
I genuinely couldn't tell at first if Aaron you'd actually change the sound or not.
Yeah,
I
right.
was like,
Sorry, that
is
was
that
so
part of
startling.
it?
Is
Or?
that me?
Please continue.
Yeah, as you're looking around, you do see a portion of a sign off to the dark as you make your way towards. I'm just shooting for the left side. You make your way towards the left side, looking at one of the signs, and you see that it is corroded away. That any language that would have been on here is completely illegible.
All right, guys. Well, I guess it's 6 of 1.
That's what?
Oh, like
What?
we can go either way.
What did you
Oh.
say?
6 of 1.
Have to have another either.
Yeah, it's like it's like an earth saying. You guys don't worry about it.
It's just weird when you only say half of it.
That's a totally normal thing to do.
I don't think so.
You always hit the full idiom in full, and then the
Yeah.
reference of where it comes from. Always.
Yeah.
So are we going this way or that way?
I think does anybody have a coin?
I think you should make it.
A what?
You know, like a thing with two sides, a picture on one, another picture on the other. Anyway, I'm just gonna start turning around in a circle, spinning myself, and I will stop. Left. Where we're going.
Okay. Umber points left, making an executive decision.
Also, Aaron,
Mhm.
is there any like, what's the best way to ask this question? Is there like any urban legends or stories or anything that I may have read or just kind of overheard somebody say about something like this? Not necessarily this particular area, but anything like that.
I would say each of you, if you're trying to piece together, if you've seen something like this, I think it'd be fair for each of you to be thinking about that. It would be knowledge based. So give me a knowledge roll, and
15 for me.
anyone else?
A knowledge? I can do a knowledge.
Yeah, that's a 6.
Just got an 11 again.
Okay. And Finn, did you roll as well? I didn't catch it.
No, he's not. That's not.
No, that's not his
We don't
strong suit.
knowledge.
Okay. So Umber, yours was the highest then?
Yeah.
You got 15?
15.
I would say the roll wasn't very high. And you would catch that something about this place does feel off in general. Starting off from even just the fact that you had to dock manually. That's not something you've ever done. That's not something you've ever seen done. Like that is something you learn just in case systems fail. But that hasn't been done. That's not practice for a very long time.
Okay. And does this place, or at least in the area that we were in, did it look sophisticated enough to have a system like that, or is it not quite like at that level?
I would say Xenon would point this out, that you have some experience with state-of-the-art technology, stuff the rest of the crew has probably never seen, and you've seen the inner workings of, maybe even Imperium technology, and you have a very good idea of the breadth of things that have been in recent decades. This ain't it. This is old. This is something you haven't seen. This is not advanced. This is not common. The rest of you as well would just note that, like, for the most part, this seems a little bit archaic. This is outside the realm of things you would consider normal.
Well, team, let's go left. 6 and 1 or whatever Xenon said. So as good as any.
All right. Yes, Cap.
That's it. 6 and 1 is as good as any.
Let's go left. That's the new saying.
That's the saying.
You still want us to leave, Cap?
Yeah, you guys are doing such a wonderful job. Oracle and I are just scanning back here, making sure that everything is okay.
Okay.
Right,
Do you
Oracle?
want me to go up with Xenon?
No, of course not. No, you're so much better back here.
Umber, can you roll a resilience check for me?
Of course.
Are you sure?
Jack
I
got
only
to him.
have a wrench.
Damn it. It's a natural one.
You just begin to feel in this moment, and you can feel yourself inside this asteroid, outside of modern space, outside of modern places, ancient technology, things not of your time, surrounded by darkness, 2 potential killers in the room with you. And you just feel actual fear as you look forward into the dark of this long, lightless tunnel in front of you as Xenon and Finn begin to make their way inside, and Oracle stepping in pace. And for a moment, you just feel genuine hesitation until suddenly you are left alone as the other 3 begin to make their way into the tunnel in this strange, echoing room filled with dust and darkness.
God, guys, hold on, wait
What
for
is
me.
it? I turn around, pull my gun out.
Oh my God, no, Finn.
Sorry,
Yeah, the
I thought
voice
someone was
rings out.
chasing you or something.
Oh no, I just
Jeez.
like I was a little nervous of the dark. Yeah.
Use your flashlight, silly.
It's okay.
Jeez.
Yeah. I forgot to pull up my flashlight. Like, go up to Oracle. Don't leave me again.
Keep up.
And you turn on a dime and you begin to, each of you follow down this tunnel. The first thing you guys would notice as you stepped into it, the feeling here, light from your headlamps, you would even be able to note that it is not rock. It is not cave in here. It is seemingly metal, but it is slightly flexible under your weight. And just like the ever so slight and subtle amount of give, as if you're in a tube. This thing is a tube with interlocking pieces of some kind, and you are moving very subtly downward at maybe a 5-degree angle at most. But you can feel as you step down that each step, as you press against your own weight and your own gravity, pushes just a little bit too much into the tubing. And you begin to see it veers off to the left. And the tubing becomes more corrugated and flexible, like accordion-like, as you begin to move into the area, and it becomes slightly more flexible towards your position and towards your weight, and you begin to make your way down. And before long, you open up into the receiving end of whatever this tubing is, a symmetrical round opening. On this side, you see that there is a half of a valve. It would have been a sliding valve like many of the sliding doors you've seen. Half of it still descended. And the other little bit of it, just a notch of it on the bottom side. And you see that the valves have been locked in place, long corroded. And it appears at a glance that this would have been on the other side, but that side is fully open, whereas this side got stuck at some point. Beyond that, you see a little bit of the life support lighting, but it is a large chamber filled with stalactites and stalagmites and natural formations. And and then you see this, again, the half-open valve in front of you, blocking maybe half the path. Eventually,
Do you guys want to look around while I try and unstick the door?
Sure.
Sure, yeah. I think that's fine. I'll step into this room, this next area, and look
So
around.
you duck under the half a valve, and you're able to move out into the open space. And in here, it does feel like a more natural stone. Even under your feet, it doesn't feel like it's made way for. It hasn't been like smoothed out like some of the previous areas at all. And you just see an open cavern, maybe 30, 40 feet ahead of you. It disappears into darkness in all directions. And lots of stalagmites and stalactites. You see condensation dripping around you. The fog in here picks up exponentially as it becomes Even on your headlamps, like within 10, 15 feet of you, it's nothing but mist and fog reflecting back at you, and it's hard to see further than that.
Okay, I'll look back at the group. What do you guys think?
Honestly, this place is really starting to remind me of a book. The book that I talked about when we were on that other planet with with that weird king guy or whatever.
The Fender one or whatever?
Yeah,
The movie?
because no, the book. God, no, not the movie. Never the movie. But there was I'm pretty sure they go to an asteroid, and from inside the asteroid, there's like all this like technology and stuff, and that's where they do a bunch of things. And now I'm starting to get creeped out. I look at the walls. Does it look like bug aliens used to live here?
As you begin to look at the walls, can you give me an awareness check?
Fuck yeah, I can.
Face hugger for sure.
No. They're just like bugs. They're like ants.
And all this time I'm
Maybe in
trying
the
to fix
book.
the door. So, like,
17.
Give me a strength check as well. Yeah, as Oracle for some reason is pulling at the valve that it's half closed downward. What do you get on that?
24.
Yeah, after like a few moments, you just hear like metal on metal, straining on straining, and then suddenly shunk. It comes down to full 50%, and hits with an incredibly loud clang that rings out in this massive cavern, and it is now fully halfway down instead
Fixed
of
it.
40%.
Job work.
And that rings out, Finn, as you move your hands towards the walls with your light reflecting off of it. What was your roll, sorry?
17.
Yeah, I would say with that roll, you're looking back, thinking of things you'd seen, and the image of the ship comes back to mind. And then a flicker of Umber's chest comes back to mind. And on Xenon's shoulder, you see Jack, tongue darting in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And the eyes flickering back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, really fast, till suddenly they become steady into a single motion pointing forward. And Finn, you begin to recollect the feeling of your walls that you had to replace as Jack had scurried his way through underneath all the panels, the way he had peeled away wires, the way he had peeled away Umber's chest, and your hand feels against the edge of this cavern, and you feel a very similar peeled away motion, but maybe 30, 40, 100 times the size.
So, I don't like this place.
Why, what's wrong, Finn?
First of all, Jack's eyes are going batshit crazy.
Yeah, I think
I'm
there's a lot of like electricity in here or something.
Right, but do the walls not seem weird to anybody else?
I guess I'll look and
Like-
Yeah, as you guys each kind of move in, you start to see what he's talking about, the grooves. Umber, you specifically remind yourself of when he was peeling away your chest and the very specific texture that left behind in your own body, and you see it here, the worn down, and to a scale much larger than before.
This kind of looks like this. Just kind of point down as
Yeah.
I fixed my chest as best I could. This
Is Jack like a baby?
I'm gonna pull Jack off my shoulders and look at him in the eyes.
He's doing that thing like when a cat is focused on a bug in the middle of the room and you pull them away and they don't even notice you. The only thing that they think about is like, my body needs to be back where I could see that bug. You see its head like on like a swivel or a gyro looking back over you, locking into that point now over your shoulder, refusing to look away.
Jack, do you have a mommy and a daddy?
Are they fucking gigantic?
Can each of you roll an awareness check for me?
Oh, fuck.
Can I look in the direction Jack is looking?
As you turn around, do you have headlight on or no?
Yeah, since it's so
Yeah,
dark.
I think we all threw headlights on.
For the most part, with the headlights on, you're reflecting back a ton of like heavy fog, and it is obscuring a bit of your vision in the distance. But even with that, what was the awareness checks?
I got 15.
Okay,
I'm re-rolling mine with my ability.
what's your ability? Yep,
21.
21. Oracle.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, you wanted to look as well.
It's a natural one.
Yeah, you turn around, you see stalactites on the top, and kind of obstructing your view with a lot of this heavy fog. and the rest of you. You rolled pretty high, if those are your rolls there. You begin to look beyond the fog, and maybe what was your rolls again? Sorry, they've just faded away.
I got a
can't remember.
15.
That's pretty
21.
good. 21. That's what you had. Did you roll, Ember? I didn't notice one for you.
No, because I'm still.
You're just focused
looking
on the
at-
thing. Okay, so yeah, Finn, you begin to see something in the distance, a silhouette kind of rising against the fog as you look up and try and position your way where, like, you know, the natural formations and the light bouncing around off the fog wouldn't be getting in the way. And as you're kind of like trying to get your eyes to focus on the silhouette, Xenon, you noticing 30 feet in the air or so, above the level of fog as it begins to dissipate, you see 3 very dim but very large eyes reflecting back at you.
I'm gonna look at everyone. I think it's a giant, Jack. And then put Jack down on the ground. Buddy, go somewhere safe, okay?
And as you put him down, he just kind of like lets himself be on the ground, but eyes pinned, focused on that position. And then he looks to the right.
I look to the right. Is there another one?
You see a second set of triple eyes looking back at you, that electricity flickering in their pupils.
Everybody, back up slowly. Back in. We're gonna go the other hallway.
I start backing up, and I also make sure my rifle is ready.
Whoever would like to, could you roll a guile stealth test for me as you begin to work your way backwards towards the path you came in, which is now half the size it was before, a little smaller than it was before.
Don't worry, I have to spell that real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to just throw that out there. I'm going to use shadow, so
Okay.
it gains advantage while trying to sneak past 3 or fewer.
Yeah.
Foes.
Yes, I would say that ability works just fine.
Wait, what do you mean 3?
It's just a specific wording. Like, you can't skip
Okay.
as few groups. It's just for smaller
Yeah.
groups.
There's just not a third one we haven't noticed yet.
I got a nat 20 on my guile.
7.
3.
Okay.
19 for me.
Okay. So Xenon and Umber, you're able to like backtrack, keeping your focus on the 2 sets, the 6 eyes, as you make your way back towards the hallway. Feeling behind you, you feel the rusted steel of the valve halfway down, and if you wish to, you can choose to begin your way through that. As Finn and Oracle, you doing the same, stepping backwards, crack directly in rocks under your feet, and you hear them shuffling and echoing out into the cavern. And you see simultaneously that the sets of eyes pin on your location as you guys were making your way towards the valve. And
Oh, fuck.
you begin to feel, more than anything, just a vibrating throughout the room.
I'm gonna go on the
Faster is better.
We want to run?
Faster is better.
All right, running time.
Okay.
Fuck
Make
you.
it make agility each for me as you guys instead book the fuck towards that valve. Xenon, what were you doing as well?
I was gonna say on the comments, like, they only eat electricity. I don't think they eat people.
19.
I'm made of metal.
Yeah. He is
And
electricity.
Jack already ate me once.
A walking
Forgot about
battery.
that. I don't think of you as a robot like the rest of the crews.
I appreciate that.
He's
But
a
that thing
computer.
looks at me and thinks of me as a snack.
Yeah, so what were the rolls?
11 for me.
19.
Okay.
18.
We got 2
Fast as fuck,
passes.
boy.
So everyone over a 15, you have the speed and ability to make it into the valve. Otherwise, you are stuck at that moment as you see these 2 sets of eyes with whatever it is that's beyond them in the dark, lunging in your direction at an incredible speed. It takes a moment before you realize that these eyes are connected to something like, but not exactly, Jack, who has pinned himself locked on to something that he recognizes. And you see these two whirling maws of teeth and tongues flipping around each other, coming off of what looks to be a twin-headed creature as this thing works its way. Its double heads working away over stalagmites and stalactites, crashing them, ripping them, throwing out of its path as it steps towards you. Its body looks to be a bunch of claws, just like 30 to 40 claws pulling itself, its whole entire weight as it scrounges in your direction, ripping up the ground beneath it. And like Jack, its body is made of segments of steel and other metals that have worked into its body from this installation that it's been living in for who knows how long, as it's grown to this incredible size, and it launches out towards you. And we're gonna roll initiative. The two people that succeeded higher than a 15 on the agility check there, you can act first and do whatever you like, and then we'll follow your normal initiative.
Gotcha. It's agility for initiative, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I got a 13.
I have a 12.
I also got a 12.
Ah, but what's your agility, Zing?
True, yeah.
One.
Out
Then you go first.
Okay. Can I get those again?
13.
So my pen is not doing what it do.
Then my 12, and then Oracle's 12.
Okay.
Oracle 12 rolled to 12.
Okay. So we got Finn, then Xenon is higher agility.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Oracle and Umber, you're saying you rolled a 2? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Umber doesn't know where the biggest threat's coming from.
Yeah.
I just need to keep Finn in close proximity is what it is.
I don't know what you're worried about. I'll protect you. I promise.
I don't know if you've seen Xenon shoot a gun, but like,
Yeah, it's true. She couldn't kill you if she fucking tried.
no. But I could kill you if I wasn't trying, so.
I did tell Umber to just stay away from knives.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm
You
That is-
great
have been a
with
little
knife.
stabby.
Sure. You're good with a shiv.
I'm good with a makeshift knife.
Okay. So the two that passed, you get to go first. I don't remember which of you it was,
It was
now.
me. It was me
Okay.
and Umber. So
Okay.
I'll turn with my brand new Prime Meridian,
Ooh.
and I'll take a shot at the closest one.
Okay, of the two heads, I would say right kind of came in first.
Yep.
And you could take a shot at that.
Let's go right. Okay. So that is a 12. Sorry, wait, what is that? Yeah, it's a +4. Sweet. So that's a 16.
That would hit.
All
Roll
right.
some damage for me.
That is going to be 7 damage.
7. Okay.
Now it does do phase and something else. Piercing. Yes.
Yeah, if it does both, that'll be full. This is a surprise attack, so you can,
Yep.
I believe, with primary and double that damage on that one, unless you already did. Like, unless I'm misremembering.
No, that was just it was. I rolled a 7, so yeah, it's true because it is double damage on.
Yeah, they weren't
unaware,
aware
right?
that they would be attacked at
So
this
then
moment.
14.
14 damage to the right head.
Yep.
Unmitigated. Where do you shoot it? You do see the 3 eyes and this whirling mouth and teeth filled with tongues and
Gotta go for the eyes.
the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You actually see that as you take a shot, the head is coming in on an angle, and you can quite clearly see the laser bolt as it rips through the cavern, lighting up the room. As it pierces through one eye and then a second, and they are completely ruptured, and you see a black fluid fall down its
Jesus,
face,
that's disgusting.
and it begins to spark as if this is like a conductive liquid rolling down the side of its face as it comes in towards you, and it reels back in pain, screaming. The entire room is like echoing and vibrating with the sound.
Yeah.
And then you see the left head is swinging in. But who was the second person going?
Umber, our fearless
Okay.
leader,
Our fearless leader.
scared of no one.
You do what you like to do.
Is Xenon and Oracle running towards us, or are they?
That's up to them. What would be your motion here, as you guys?
I was much slower on the draw.
So you're still coming back to the valve?
I'd say I'm closer to the giant monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xenon was at the door. She may have just like had a moment of fear, but I guess you're still there as well.
Yeah, I'd say like as soon as she heard the shooting, like turned around.
Okay.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Mender. So I'm going to use an energy here. Roll a d4 super quick. Okay, I can use it once. I'm going to heal myself because I'm badly bruised.
Okay.
From the ship.
That is a good idea.
D4. So that's 5 points of damage or 5 healing. That's all I can do.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I can do.
Positionally, where would you like to be? Are you in the cavern, in the tunnel? Where would you like to be?
I'm in the tunnel.
Okay.
Just like peeking my head up.
Okay. Yeah. So
In my big
it is like
Captain Crunch hat.
you got a half of a metal plate now in your way, thanks to Oracle, and so underneath you can still see the action, and but it is a bit of a smaller gap now, and you're behind that, and then that's the surprise round. So you guys can do one more thing as well, and then we'll get back into the normal initiative order.
Okay.
Because normal initiative would be Finn is going first. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so you're saying I can do one more thing before my normal turn?
No, I mean we're at
Okay.
the top, but you started, so
Got it.
That was a bad one.
I'm gonna activate cloaking.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Is there a roll for that? I don't remember.
No, use one energy to activate
energy.
invisibility. I get +6 to my stealth or my guile.
Okay.
But if I'm disrupted, I have to pass a stealth 11 to maintain.
Okay. And don't forget, as a free action, you can always use one energy to roll shields one time if you like.
Yep.
So that may be worth it if you want to use the energy, up to you. Okay. And so yeah, keep track of the energy you're using. And yeah, you guys see Finn just fades out of existence. Positionally, where would you like to be?
I still want to get towards the other side of the door,
Okay.
in some fashion. Yeah,
Okay.
just so I don't get locked in, then they can't see me.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you're pretty much at the doorway. We'll see like stepping
Yep.
inside. You're right there. Okay. And then the enemies go. So with the right head reeling back in agony, you see the left head come in, I guess, towards Oracle as the sole person left standing in the field, and also their favorite kind of snack. Would you like to make a defense roll as this giant head of gnashing tongues and teeth rip in towards you, crashing and throwing away all the natural rock in this area?
What do I add for defense? Is it ability?
I think agility or finesse. Give me 1 second.
Defending is agility.
It's a fail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's agility.
Regardless.
Yeah.
It's a 7.
Okay.
Question: does that count as the pass-fail rolls for like the failures, the XP?
Yep.
All right. Well, I level again in session then.
Keep off down, buddy.
Yeah. You take 5 damage. It's normal physical damage as this thing crashes into you, and
So then I only take 4 then.
4. Okay. And you find yourself grappled as its tongues start to pull onto your body and start to slowly pull you into its mouth, which is enlarging to try and fit you within it. And then next is Xenon.
Damn you, Jumbo Jack.
All right. So I'm gonna shoot first and ask questions after, because I do have a question about. So Xenon bought this Moonmaker gun, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
She also understands how it works, but I also have a question about how it works.
Sure.
But I will shoot first. So I do know it has like a big range, and I think she would understand that. So
Yeah.
I want to shoot closer to the bot, like far enough away that Oracle is not going to be
Shredded.
encapsulated in this.
Okay. Left versus right head, is there one you're shooting for? You know that
Which
the
is-
right reeled back, so it would be further away, but also potentially harder to hit.
Yeah, I think the left, the one that has Oracle.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess aiming towards the sky a little bit to let the radius of this thing rain down on it.
Yeah.
Make that attack roll for me. That should be a finesse.
Oh, I crit. What up?
Oh shit! Okay.
Cool. Wow,
Gotta make
I
the
don't think that's
sound.
ever happened while shooting a gun, so I like almost
Yeah.
don't know what to do.
Yeah, you've been like a Shiv only run up until this moment. So.
So
As
that's,
I'm just watching Xenon hit, I'm like, oh my god, she's more deadly than ever.
She's doing
it's just
it.
like double dice, right? Or
Um,
double damage, or
It's double the effectiveness. So whatever you roll, just times 2. I think I am, for some reason, my bookmark for the rules is gone. So
I
that's
thought
good because I rolled
It
max
might be
damage,
max
so
effect.
we're
It's
just
max
gonna
damage
go with...
plus an additional dice roll.
that's right. yeah.
Oh,
and you get another action.
Yes,
oh,
and you can go
okay. So
again.
max damage plus an additional dice roll. Okay, well that one wasn't as good, but 16. And right, Moonmaker
Is that the
deals
that's the
D12
total?
piercing damage to all within a 30-foot sphere. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay?
The,
So
Then my-
16
yes.
piercing as well.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And then my question is, it says 1 charge per hour. Does that mean you can literally fire this once per hour, or is the charge for something else that I don't know about?
Yeah. So give me a second. I'll get back to you on that. I'm thinking it's once per hour, but it may be that there are loaded charges already. So you get 1 back per hour, but I think you start with more than that. I just have
Okay.
to find the document. My bookmarks
That's-
went away, so I gotta.
That is all
Where did I
good.
put it?
I guess I will shoot at it again then, if that's allowed and I have my extraction. So
Yeah, you do whatever you like. I just would say that you would
oh well, that's just...
positionally you'd have to leave the valve in order to make a shot. It's
That's
a, it's
okay,
a
I'll
big
s-
two-handed cannon. You wouldn't really be able to like reach down or anything because there's still the lip of the bottom of this thing as well, kind of in your way. But
That's-
you can still potentially move back inside. So.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind moving out. I mean, like seeing Oracle being like grappled by this thing too. I don't
Yeah.
think she's like trying to run off by any means. But I missed on the second one, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
But I will roll some shields for sure.
Okay. What kind of shielding do you got? Is it just D4? Or?
It's just a D4, yeah.
Okay.
And that is it. And then I'll just yell, "Excuse me, we don't want to like, we're lost."
I don't think it cares.
I was
don't
good,
know, we
clear
didn't
and
think Jack
concise message.
cared.
After you take the shot, goes wide. Are you looking to duck back into the valve passageway? It'd just be a finesse check to see if you get over and in between the finagling
No, I
of
don't
those
mind.
plates.
No, I don't mind staying out there, almost
Okay.
like trying to get it to pay a little bit more attention to me.
Okay.
Than Oracle, I guess.
You're doing a Chris Pratt to these monsters. You're gonna try and tame them.
I mean, if we can think of any other reference, that would
I'm
be
sorry, it's just that's the only time it happened
preferable.
in cinematic history. It's the only ever no one's ever tamed a wild creature in another movie before. So that's Xenon's turn. Did even missing 1 attack, an incredible amount of damage. Next, we've got Oracle. You are within this thing's nasty tongue mouth as it's beginning to pull you in. You feel these metallic teeth grinding against the metal of your body, and you see an infinite abyss of tongues and metal teeth inside. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I will my tight fitting wrench and swing away at the inside of the maw.
Okay, yeah, make an attack with that.
22.
Okay, yep, that hits. Roll some damage for me.
Nice, I rolled a 1.
Perfect. Yeah, you feel the wrench clang off the inside of this mouth, and it's got like metal planing flecked within the flesh of its insides.
I do need to know, was this +4 over the test? Since I rolled a 22?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Then it's impaired.
Okay, so because you have this giant ass thing, you hit it directly in one of like these larger teeth, and you just feel like the reverberation like goes through you as it goes through the tooth, and you feel the scream against your face as it roils back in pain as well. And this head for the next turn will either take damage or not be able to act.
Damn space slugs.
Okay, and then Umber.
Yeah, I'm gonna come into the cavern and shoot the left head. I'm gonna try to shoot it in the eye if I can.
Okay.
That's a fail. That's a 9. And then I'm just gonna like start banging my chest. Come eat me! Come eat me! You feel that oracle go?
Perfect. Okay. Can you make a suggestion roll for me?
I can. 13.
You see, with Oracle in this thing's mouth, its eyes do dart to you, and just the light of the ambient light of the room flicking up against the metal of your body, and you see that the eyes on this thing, as it stops like reeling back, they do lock onto you for a moment, and then we're back to Finn. You see the other head has begun to work its way back into the action as the other one reels back in pain as it's chomping on Oracle.
It's no longer chomping on Oracle, though, right?
It is, yeah. He's
Still?
not attempt to break free. He just tried to hit it. So at the moment, it is like its tongues are wrapped around him, but it is like reeling in pain. It got smashed into one of its like incisor teeth here or whatever. So it's impaired, but it's still holding on.
All right. Well, while I'm invisible here, I'm going to take a shot at it.
Okay. So you dip into the dark,
Yep.
make that attack roll.
Alrighty. So close. That's like a 23 to hit.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that definitely hits. Which head are you? Oh, you're trying to free Oracle, right?
Trying to free Oracle, yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to be 6 points of damage, but I'll also use I think it's my armor ability. So twice per mission, I can choose to double one damage result. So I'll do that. So I'll do 12.
But you shot from invisibility. So
Right.
you were
So can I
unseen.
double the double?
You can double the double.
So
on
12,
this
so let's go
shot.
24, yeah.
24 damage, and this also has piercing, right?
Yep.
So it's ignoring this thing's
And
metal body.
phase. Yes.
So yeah, where on its head or body are you shooting?
I'm gonna go for the eyes again. I'm just
The
trying
eyes
to take out
again,
all the
okay,
eyes.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. And how much was it?
24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you see just this perfect shot lined up between that center section of all 3 eyes. And like before, they snap like glass and break with a fluid that is sparking with electricity as this black fluid begins to pour down. And I will see if it holds on to Oracle or not, because that is one hell of a thing to keep focusing on after that. No, it rolled very low. Oracle, you as this thing reels back, you are thrown into the air as the tongues let go. It screeches, and the wind from inside it pushes you outward as saliva dots your entire body. Can you make a resilience or strength roll as you are thrown through the air?
Okay. I rolled very low. That's a 7.
So you're just going to be taking a D4 damage as you are thrown across this cavern. I lost my D4, so I'll roll it digitally.
Okay.
Just one. 1 damage. You crack into a pretty soft stalagmite, all things considered, and it breaks your fall more than anything.
I got your back, Oracle.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And after a moment, the left head, after it squeals and reels back and eyes bursting, the black liquid going down its face, you see the sparking begin to fizzle as it crashes into the ground. All of its tongues lifelessly hit onto the cement, and liquid begins to pour out from it. A pool starts to spread out from around its body with electricity sparking. And it is making its way towards you, though, as this big pool of its black Icarus-like blood, electrified, is moving its way in your direction. But it is now the enemy's turn, and with its other head, with only one eye remaining, it is coming in your direction. I believe a lot of you are still outside of the valve.
And I'm invisible.
Yeah. So. Oh, you have to roll to see if you stayed invisible.
Oh, right. Yeah. So it's stealth. Shit. I'm good. That's like a 23 or something.
Okay. So you just see for a split second a zap of light come out, take out those eyes. This head goes down, and then Finn back into the invisibility as the one head has died. And so yeah, from the others, I'm just going to see which one it's going to target. Unfortunately, Xenon, as you see it come in, its own body is like being dead weight a little bit as one of its like long-necked heads has fallen to the earth, and well, in space we need a better word for the soil, I guess, but the ground. And the other head with its body, you see the legs scrappling on the ground against the weight of its own dead head as it lunges towards you and screaming. Can you make a defense roll?
I can.
I believe.
What is that again? Sorry, I feel like I never have to do this.
Agility.
Agility.
The
Yeah.
defense is agility.
Thank you. I'm usually not so stupid. 14.
14, you are able to get out of the way. Where would you like to go as this thing is kind of crashing into the ground in front of you and ripping up the earth, ground, asteroid as it rips out its way, its teeth and tongues kind of ripping its way towards you? Where would you like to go?
I want to kind of like tuck and roll towards Oracle being on the ground.
With the black pool kind
Oracle.
of stretching out towards him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you smash out of the way. It hits directly into the wall, working its way up the surface, but to the right of this valve. And you all, anyone around it or within it, feel it vibrate and shake, and the ring of metal sounds out. And now it's your actual turn.
Okay. I want to go over to Oracle and try to pull him up onto his feet so that he's kind of ready to get out of there.
Yeah, okay. You can make a strength test as he's just crashed into the ground. And I would say this kind of thing, like if you're working together, you can get advantage on it. Because he's not like unconscious or anything.
Oracle just makes
Thank
himself
God.
dead weight. Like
Yeah, unless Oracle doesn't want to get lifted. That's
Just flex every muscle and don't move.
yeah, it does like the toddler thing, like I'm not going. Dead weight comes up.
Oracle, please. It's 15.
Okay, yeah,
If
with
you
the
said
15.
please.
Yeah,
So
you're able
I'll
to get
help him to his feet, and then can I look around? Is Jack still like petrified against, or not petrified, but like, you know?
You see Jack has wormed its way through the fluid towards the fallen head of this thing and is like a little bit like, it's a little bit hard to see through the fog and everything, but it's moving up against the body of this thing on the side.
Okay, I'm gonna yell, Jack, I'm really sorry, I gotta go. You were my best friend.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And then
Oh
I'm
my
gonna say
God.
like to the rest, like, let's go, and run towards the valve to
Okay.
get out of here.
And you begin running your way back. And then Oracle, you are brought up to your feet. You've got Xenon there with you as she's beginning to run. What would you like to do? And this black pool of electric ink is making its way towards you very quickly.
Okay. I guess we never asked about this, but
Mhm.
are we able to float inside this asteroid, or is it like actually got its gravity?
No, you
Gravity.
notice that most like indoor places have artificial gravity. It's
Okay.
it's such like a staple of the technology of your time that it's not even like a second thought. Like even like a cheap like 2501 Ford Probe would have artificial gravity in it.
Is there a way for
get
me
out
to
of here.
get to the like snake thing without like avoiding the pool, or no?
to the dead head?
Or no, to the alive head?
The deadhead has the pool outstretching around
Okay.
from it, like its blood is flowing out of it, because it has been all of its eyes that contain its blood have been ruptured, so the entire thing's bleeding out from that side. The alive head has just crashed into to your right and is like scrambling up the wall and is about to like look down over you guys.
Okay. Yeah. Can I go over to the alive head then?
Mhm.
Oh, retrogressor.
Okay, so you,
Alright.
you're like prepping to get
Trying to
the
do a
attack.
large hit.
Okay. Okay. So, have you? Oh, you're going to use it now. Like,
Mhm.
okay, go for it.
Please, for the love of God, roll low. So brutal. 13.
Okay. So, how the retrogressor works: stores damage taken during the mission. You can spend energy to make an attack. You can
Yes.
multiply it by the amount of energy you spend. But
I was planning to use 7, but did 13 miss?
you rolled a 13.
Yeah.
No, 13 hits. This thing is like directly in
Oh.
front of you. Like the long neck of it is like crashed up into the wall and is looking up over you. Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
can hit it. So
Yeah, I was planning to use 7 energy.
7 energy times how much? Sorry, that's what your
I've taken
damage roll is.
5, so
Okay,
It'll
so
be
35 damage.
35. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That's quick math. Yep, that's a lot. But that doesn't reduce
Do I still
armor.
roll? Do I still roll damage for the weapon or no? It's just the retrogressor damage.
Retrogressors is just a system of dealing damage. However, it doesn't reduce armor on those hits.
Yeah.
So it will be armor is reduced by each of the amounts. So you're like you see 7 bursts of like however you imagine this. Are you using like a wrench or are you using a projectile? Or
So
how's this
I'm
work?
using the wrench. So like you see, like, or Oracle's like legs and arms like light up a little from stress,
Mm,
like swinging down.
yeah, and yeah, you just see like an incredible amount of power crash into this thing, and you do deal a lot of damage to it. You hear it squeal out. The metal plating that you hit like rips away under the force, and you see like the dark flesh of this thing underneath it, and it begins to leak out with a little bit of sparking as the side of its mouth and jaw looks to be broken and hanging down as it like eyes, and the sparks as they look at you are beginning to dwindle, and it is incredibly low.
And I will use like the refresher. So
Okay.
evens are a success, odds are a failure.
Yep. See if you get the energy back.
Aw, I didn't get it
Oh,
back.
you don't get the energy back. So Oracle is now exhausted. I think using all of your energy, right?
Yeah, I used all of it.
And he's just like batteries out. He's basically on basic movement and life support for a few moments. And that is your turn. Umber. You see all that. What would you like to do?
Okay, if I go to Oracle, do I have to carry him, or can you still walk?
Right
with
now,
his
he's
artificial
like
knees.
he's kind of like asleep at this moment. He's out of energy, completely done. You would have to use strength to get him to move with you. He's not like unable to move, but it's gonna be effort to get him all the way.
Okay. And if I move him, I can't use anything else, correct?
It depends. If you're going to try and move him all the way back to the valve, that's going to be part of your whole turn. But if there's anything you could feasibly do while carrying someone, yeah, you can still do it.
Okay, this is what I want to try. I want to
Shoulder
run to
holding.
Oracle, yeah, and try to bring him, and then also use Hologeist if I can.
Okay.
So essentially, it's just using one energy to activate a deceptive like a clone of myself,
Yeah.
and hopefully I could do both of us so that we're walking in 2 different directions. And then
Okay, I see.
Hopefully,
So you grab onto him and then flick on the hollow guys, and there's like a mimic of you trailing off to one side while you actually go to the other.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Can you make the guile check for me? And you gain
and
plus
then
5
guile-
for that while this happens. Are you trying to do multiple copies or just definitely doing one? Because you can roll a d4 if you're doing copies.
Yeah, I'll do a D4, a number of copies. So that's that's a 22
Okay.
total.
Yeah.
And that's 3 copies. So I'll do one that goes left, right, and then
Yeah. Spreading
Whatever.
out in all the
Yeah.
possible directions. Okay. So that's a huge advantage on whether or not it's actually going to pick you out. And you begin to move back to the valve, I assume, unless there's somewhere else you would like to go.
yeah, back to the valve and go, come on, Oracle. I need you, buddy. I need you. I can't be stuck with these people.
And now we're back to the top, which is Finn.
All right. Yeah, just gonna take a shot at the head.
Yeah, you see that like Oracle like rips off a plate of this thing's like long neck and opens up and it's screeching, and it's got the one eye looking back down at you as it's about to like try and crash down on you all. Make that attack.
Ooh, that's only an 8.
You notice it looks you dead in the eye as you're about to make this shot. And then its
like
mouth
that.
and teeth and tongue widen open to approximately your size. As you miss your roll, and it's turn. It dashes towards you like a dart of
Hold on.
lightning.
Can I see if I stay invisible or not?
Yeah, roll it. Yeah, that's true. It would have just been in that split second. Otherwise, we'll see.
22.
Okay, so you see as you shoot, you lock eyes.
Oh, fuck.
And then as you go, its eyes start darting around, and it comes to crash down to the earth. At this moment, I think it's going to actually decide between the copies. So there's 4 of you all together. So I'll do a D4. 2 and a 1 is you guys. That's a 5. So it goes for the third one. And he just like crashes through it, obliterating the holographic copy completely, and leaves like a giant gouge in the asteroid ground, ripping it away. And then you can see its mouth chewing emptily at nothingness. And then that's its turn, and I think we're on Xenon, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So seeing that everyone is kind of safe, right before going into the hallway, word that I can't think of right now.
Yeah,
I'm
to like the
gonna-
valve opening, and the black pool is, as it's spreading out now, maybe no more than 5 feet away from you, and you see it pouring out like a waterfall from like where the eyes on this dead head used to be, viciously, and electric sparks are reaching you as well.
I am going to actually, if the Icar is getting closer and closer, I'm going to activate my thrust pack that I totally forgot that I purchased.
Oh, nice! That would have been helpful.
Yeah.
That's pretty, it's helpful now too.
That's pretty cool. And I'm going to like launch up into the air a little bit.
Okay, nice.
So I'm like hovering above, and I'm gonna take another shot at this thing with the Moonmaker, but again, like above, so that no one else is in
Yeah.
its
Um,
range.
And yeah, so the initial intention for Moonmaker was it's like this 3-mooned body, and that's how many charges it holds at once. So you get 1 back per hour, but you do have the 3. So this would be your third. It's like 3 orbs on like a cylinder is like the design of how it looks.
Yeah.
And so it matches to each orb opens up and a giant missile orb thing comes out. So you're on your last charge now. And
All right,
make
let's
that
hope
roll.
I do it. 14.
Yeah, that's gonna hit. Roll damage.
Heck yeah. 8. Okay, that's not that bad.
Okay, not that bad. Does it have any damage resistance changes? It does piercing.
It's amazing, yeah.
That's very good then. Okay. So yeah, you see the Moonmaker explode. It has like this we didn't even mention it before, but it has like a bit of a bluish plasma electric zap that goes out. It's not electricity. It wouldn't be feeding this thing, but it's like a liquid plasma that bursts out from the moon missile itself. And how much was it again? 8? Was that
Yeah.
the damage roll? Okay. 8
Yeah, that was the damage roll.
As this head is like darting and into the earth and chewing up nothingness, it spins on a dime to look at you guys angrily as it eats nothing. And in that moment, you fire at the head, and you see in slow motion as the Moonmaker rips out that blue plasma rippling over its head. And as the sphere of its influence moves out, you see the head of this thing ripple away, moving in all directions, splitting open. You see the black of its body, like the liquid launching up into the air, and the sparks kind of chasing around with it. And then it dissipates, and the thing's head falls back, and another waterfall gushing out of the neck of this thing where its head used to be, as these pools of black are now moving their way towards you. But you are floating in the air, and you
Yeah.
are safe.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Oracle and Umber. Massive pools of black electric ink are making their way towards you, and you see one by one as your decoys fizzle out as they burn away. And can you make a agility roll as you try and get back in as it's chasing you? Not literally chasing you, following you as liquid pooling would do.
I rolled a 12.
Okay.
Boy.
Oracle, yeah, you see for a moment that Umber, the acid begins to lick up at his feet, and just reacts with his body. You see a spark go up through the organic metal of him and shock the slime inside of it, and you see his eyes zoop out as if they fall into the slime of his being, and his eyes are drowning essentially in his body as he is knocked out unconscious and falls to the ground, and the ink begins to pile up around him, and you see electricity coursing over his body. Umber, you are going to be taking a d8 of damage.
Oh my god.
So 3 damage. This is armor piercing, but it will shields will still work. Okay, and yeah, you see Oracle. Yeah, you are able to make your way open to the valve. The lip of it protecting you now, as you see the black ink of this liquid sloshing up, filling the chamber. You got like 8 inches or so of this stuck valve at the bottom, and you see it sloshing up against it a little. And you're able to skirt your way inside if you wish. And what would you like to do?
Sure.
You can still do your action, whatever it is you're looking to do. You can choose
Is
to
Umber-
do anything before you go in.
Is Umber within like my reach, or am I potentially going to be electric pool if I grab him?
With your incredibly big pipe fitting wrench, you could definitely reach him. He's maybe 8 feet away, but I'm not sure. What would you like to do with that?
Sure. I'll try and grab his arm with the teeth of the wrench.
Okay, nice. All right.
Drag.
Yeah, I would say it's mainly just a strength roll.
Okay.
As you grab onto one of his arms.
Oh, that was almost a natural one. 18.
18. You notice something unsettling at first as you reach over and grab onto his arms with the wrench. You clamp down, you begin to pull, and the wood vine-like arm of his body keeps sliding out of the carapace of his hull. And it begins to pull out like a whole foot before suddenly it catches, and you see the whole body of him moving as his limbs are just coiled pieces of vine that move around inside of him. And you pull him up towards you, and you're able to, with that high of a roll, pull him directly inside. Some of the ink, as it comes in with you, becomes inert as it's no longer touching the source of its electricity. And it's just black liquid now. And you're able to pull him in. And
I think I broke him.
yeah.
I try and shove his shoulder back in.
It like limply just like pushes in like rope.
Oh.
Yeah. And Xenon, what would you like to do as you're floating above this whole scene?
Is Finn still like in any danger of this stuff getting to him?
I think Finn is like right at the precipice. He could just step inside. At this point, he was never really far. So
Yeah.
as it approaches, you could just walk a step back, slip
I'll
underneath.
walk carefully. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's no
just-
problem.
Okay, just
But
checking.
Xenon, you wouldn't have any idea because Finn is fully invisible. You saw
Oh,
lasers piercing the eyes of these things with deadly precision, and then just shifting back to
Where?
darkness or invisibility.
Great point. Then I will just decline the energy on the thrust pack and go through
Okay.
the valve with the rest of these guys.
Yeah, you're able to easily work your way inside without touching any of the acid, and the enemy is not responsive. You don't see either of its headless neck definitely isn't moving, and the eyeless one seems to still be completely down. The electricity is still sparkling out through this liquid as it sloshes up against the lower half of the vent. but begins to hold as the body stops bleeding because it can only hold so much. And
And I'll
from
make
here,
one last desperate attempt to see if Jack is safe before.
yeah, as you're like floating, you see that he's working his way up the body of this thing, on like one of the segment's crevices, like wiggling in between them. Would you like to make an awareness check for me?
Yeah, definitely. 16.
You can see behind him is a very thin trail of torn away metal, and he is eating like he did to the ship, and he
Oh,
did to
boy.
Umber, and yeah.
It's the best end I could see for him.
Not the most sentimental of species.
Cool, that's it, yeah.
Okay, and you make your way into the valve, where you see Umber completely unresponsive as Oracle is like trying to like noodle his limbs back into his body. Out of initiative order, what would you guys like to do?
Well, I'm gonna go up and shake him a little bit. Umber, Cap, are you okay, Cap? Oh, I don't have anything. Anyone else? Oracle, do you have anything that can help him out? A med pack or something?
Oh, you're
So
muted.
muted.
Oracle, talk to me.
I don't have anything, but see what Umber has.
Yeah, the Cap
And I
always
rifle
does
through his shit.
something.
Yeah, you just open up the metal pack at his back, like a mailbox kind of thing, just looking through. What would you have, Umber? Do you have anything on you that would raise your health?
Well, I do have the mender, but I don't know. It's a healing helper, but I don't know if anybody else could use it.
Yeah.
I
it's
feel
a-
like we've seen you use it a few
Yeah, the
times.
mender creates a little drone that anyone can use as a free action. I definitely forgot
Yeah,
to use
so-
it. No one else has really been hurt, so it hasn't mattered too much. But
Yeah, so it's just in there. Just looks like a drone, but it looks like a butterfly.
yeah, the little butterfly landed on Umber at some point, flickering its wings. And you guys can choose to use it. It's just like it's like a radio thing. You just kind of ask it mentally, and yeah. So how much?
Tell it to heal Umber.
How much does it heal? It's a D4, right?
It's a D4 plus 2.
Oh, okay. So no matter what, yeah, you're gonna wake up, so yeah, you roll it anyway to see how much health you get back, because that might be important. But
Yeah, I got 4.
okay, 4 health, and yeah, Umber, you wake up.
Cap, are you okay?
Yes. Surprisingly, I feel much better than I thought I was going to.
Like,
And then I'm going to be like, Oracle! Oracle! And then I look at Oracle. Ah,
You see me trying to still shove your like new arm back in the slot.
Which you now have
how
full
it
control
works.
of. Yeah.
can you let go? And I do a little wiggle, and it just kind of goes back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep myself proportionate, and then I'm like sticking my hands out, making sure that I'm like perfectly proportionate. Oh, you messed me up, and then you just see me just showing my arms to make me like pretty much identical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks pretty good.
Okay. Let me get up for a minute, and I'm gonna like stand up. So, I must admit, I chose wrong. Left will never go left again.
I mean,
Let's go right.
we don't know if right was any better. Have you guys seen Finn?
Oh, sorry. And I turn off the invisibility.
Drop the
Hi.
invisibility.
Hey, I'm here.
Ah,
Great.
you can hide now.
Oh yeah.
God. I'm
Yeah.
gonna like get up and go.
No, it's
just get
good. I
a
shot
little
out
bit
almost
behind
all the
Laura.
eyes.
It was really good. Finn, did you see me? I used a gun and I hit something with a gun. I killed something
I-
with a gun.
I saw. That was surprising.
I know.
Impressive.
Yes, impressive. That was the word I was looking for. It didn't come to mind, but yes, that was impressive. Well done.
You guys begin to hear a hiss sound
Coming from where?
near your feet.
Look down.
I backed up
Jack.
more.
The metal plating is beginning to dissolve as the acid is
Okay.
licking up against it, and you just see the hiss and steam rising up as it's eating through the metal.
Can we go right now?
Let's run. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
run
just gonna
up.
start taking off.
Yeah.
You guys take your way back up this weird pipe that like going up is incredibly unsatisfying as you're like you stepping into it. You're still feeling that pressure as it gives away. Like there's nothing under this pipe. It just is rigid enough to hold you, but like as you're stepping up this thing, it's like moving under your weight. Can I get a strength test from each of you as you work your way up the incline?
Oh, you better believe you can.
I am
Strength.
15
super
for me.
strong.
That's a 10.
11. Oh, sorry, 9.
19.
Yeah, Xeno number, you're like having no trouble, and as you look back, you see Finn on like the verge of losing balance as
Help,
Oracle
help.
behind him is fully falling.
I throw up my hand for whoever's closest.
Yeah, make a finesse rolls to get them in time, but
I'll try to go for Oracle.
17?
yeah, that'll be good.
Mine's an 11.
Yeah, that's just good enough. They're able to grab onto you, holding on. Everyone's
thank
feeling
you.
the gravity pull down into the tube, and then it, everything comes back to normal. And as a group holding on, you're able to climb back up this annoying tunnel, which as you're moving through, definitely as you're looking at it, it looks to actually be some kind of like tubing. This would be for transporting some kind of liquid or something, and it is no longer doing that. It is definitely not meant for walking through. And as you make your way back up into that previous meeting room, you do see the big opening on the opposite side going right. If you'd like to head that way.
Yeah. Oracle, this isn't the safest of
Safe?
havens,
No.
is it?
I was just thinking the same thing.
I talk to the AI in my head.
Yeah, you
Why did
feel.
you give me a thumbs up?
Yeah, you feel immediately as you question it, like, why'd you give me a thumbs up? You get the ellipsis thinking in the brain, the question marks explode outwards, and then you get safe haven, question mark, and then it strikes out in your mind, and then you get home, question mark, and it strikes out in your mind as it is redetermining maybe what it thought this place was.
Oh, fuck.
Then in your mind, you get the image of a clock frozen in space and time. And then
Digital
you get
or
the image
analog?
it's an analog clock. The hands of it
It's like-
begin to spin so fast that you can't even see how quickly they are moving. And then question mark, home crossed out. Yeah, that's the message it tries to convey.
Well, this ship thought this place was safe to be a long time ago. So
All right.
just be cautious moving forward.
Well, let's go. Hopefully we've seen the worst. Maybe there's some remnant of what this used to be down the other side.
Yeah.
I'll start moving that way.
Okay. As you make your way down the right side, you notice that this one is, while it has the valve-like opening, it is actually a sturdy, normal pathway with regular before, rock, bulkheads. Everything about it looks exactly like the pathways you had passed before, except for that it had an open and closing valve option. And as you step down into this area, you see a bit of a laboratory-like place, as if you had in the previous rooms, with a lot more of these glass objects going from ceiling to floor. Like the others, they're kind of fogged out over time, and dust has resided all over them. And you see rows of these tubes in this room.
How big are these tubes?
About 4 feet across, and they go all the way like 12 feet up to the ceiling here, with like metal bases and tops
Can I
as
like
well.
wipe out one of them? Like wipe
Yep.
the dust and stuff away to see what's inside?
Yeah, as you begin to like scrape away, unfortunately, metal on glass isn't a great cleanser. With a little bit of extra work, you get away some of this dust, and inside you see a long dead, emptied corpse of a small flare, which is the creature that Jack is.
Well, guess we know where the big one came from.
Do you think they were like experimenting on them?
Kind of
or making
looks
them.
like more of a factory.
Oh. Yes, Jack wasn't born. Right. Okay.
In this room, is there any other doorways that lead out, or like a computer that maybe we could use? That's still
Yeah, as you look through the room, like before, there's a few dead computers, but there is one with a constant glow in the corner. And
I'm
as,
gonna
as
go.
for exits, there is one doorway with a closed door, small, regular sized door with a rounded top, with a metal door shut closed at the opposite end of the room as well.
I'm gonna go up to the computer and just like look at it
Mhm.
for like an intently long time.
You just see a blinking
Oracle.
cursor on the screen.
Oracle, this thing is blank. It doesn't say anything.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I don't
go
know
over
how to
the
start it.
computer.
Yeah. Yeah, if you'd like to try and use it, use your gearhead with your however you like to roll, and
Natural 20.
natural 20.
Cute.
Yeah, you just get this feeling of in your mind through that pink thought in your head that has become equivalent with the other AI, and it just puts in a word. And as you kind of approach it, you feel your fingers tap 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 right away on the display console in front of it. Blinking in, you open up into the display, and unlike the others, is not corrupted text. You see that this computer itself, is a small, portable little box. No wires connecting to it except for what looks to be a power cable. This one is completely disconnected from the network, and with natural 20, you infer that whatever it is that happened to this network, to these computers, happened to all of them except for this one that is a backup that is unconnected, aside from manually intended backups. And as you flick through the information, you do see that this place, like Umber said, is a factory. It is something that would it creates all sorts of organisms, and one of those projects specifically was called the Flare Project. And a lot of these creatures were created for non-nefarious means. As you're flicking through the information, it is an issue that has rung with you personally. These were supposed to be for cleaning space debris off of ships. The original intention was like they would be a helpful, like the robots and droids that you'd seen before, something that would be part of your systems, and you would deploy it, and it would grow to help you and your team be free of space debris. And as you're looking through these logs, you notice that these are from 2135, which is approximately 400 years in the past. And as you're flicking through these logs, you also see that there are notes on how the crystalline computers that most of the world runs in, and what a Motorix mind runs on, is researched here. This place is one of the early factories for those crystal computing devices and those crystal mines. And you find, like your own birth and creation, the Motoric people who became more sentient, that there is incredibly similar schematics here, and that they were used to create these flares.
Jeez.
And then the research begins to taper off as there are notes of product doesn't work so well. It's really hard to inhibit the growth of something with infinite food sources. Bioorganics maybe not the right way to go. And the cancellation of the project was going to be coming up at the log's end.
The Oracle, you're home, apparently. Kind of. And we just killed a cousin of yours.
Yeah, but that means you and Jack are related, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's 400 years.
Please,
Pretty long time.
please don't demean me.
Oh, I thought it was pretty neat.
Oh. He's so dumb.
Jack's
And
not
all he
dumb.
does is eat.
Oh, it's kind of dumb.
That's
Yep.
why you're cousins. You're far removed. You've become the smart one of the family.
Sure.
Oh.
It's horrible
Anyway,
that humanity caused this plague in the universe.
well, do we know it was humans?
Umber,
So
make a
20.
knowledge check for me. Or if anyone already would know, but yeah.
That's a 12.
That's not so bad. You would know that for the most part, most of humanity hadn't really expanded across the solar system in full depth until about 400 years ago, which was, after the blackout happened. That's when more of that exponential growth from humanity allowed them to explore in depth, and that's when they discovered the Charokine and your own species, the Fentarix. And before then, it was humanity working to get out here into space, and this was a research station used for the crystals embedded within this asteroid as part of the logs, and that this was definitely a human experiment.
There's another door. I wonder it could lead to another office, maybe some more information, Oracle. I don't know if you're interested.
Oh, sure.
Does it
I don't know.
Does it matter?
bother me.
It doesn't bother you? Is it good? Do you like knowing where you're from?
I've been alive for 5 Earth cycles. This happened 400 years ago.
Right.
It
of
doesn't
course.
affect me. But I guess it's awful that they were building Motorix for this purpose.
I mean, in my research of
Um,
humans, I think they do lots of awful things all the time.
But not always. There's good things too.
Always?
Not maybe in this instance, but
Yeah, there's like Robot Elvis. That
I'm
Who?
sorry,
saw
what,
once.
Umber?
Jesus fucking Christ.
There was that singer way back when. There's like robots of him all over.
Are you trying to call
Are
him a
you trying to-
robot again?
And are you saying that's
No.
the worst thing humanity's done? I don't understand.
No, I said. You're trying to trick me. I'm just gonna storm off. You're not gonna get me. I'm just gonna go through that door.
As you reach the door, you notice that there is a metal sheen on it, as if there's like a thin aluminum plating that is heavily dotted with little spots of corrosion. Little bits of it are stripped away, peeled away, and a lot of it is rusted over. For the most part, it looks like something started to corrode and eat away at the metal of this door, revealing behind it actual wood, like real earth wood.
Oh no.
Now that's rare.
Yeah.
Very weird. I mean, we're here. Umber, you wanna go? Sorry, Cap, you wanna go through?
Door.
He said so confidently.
Yeah.
As you reach towards the door, it opens, and it opens inward, where you notice that as you push the door open, there's just a line of dust that you're pressing away, and inside you just see bunks, what would resemble bunk beds, and storage and showers and tables, and it looks like a giant mess hall where there would have been maybe 100 people would have been able to sit in here comfortably as the beds kind of row out, and this would be a place where researchers and stuff at the station would be able to stay and rest. You see the rows of beds, and then you notice silhouettes in the distance through the beds and on the chairs. As the headlamps of as you go into this room, the headlamps are the only source of light. And you start to pick up the silhouettes of people, still in their beds, still in their chairs, rusted away with old ancient bones. And you see, as you turn back and looking around the room, just lots of things broken down and rusted and ancient.
Cap, careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of extend my legs just so my body is not closest to the ground. I don't want to get rust on my body. And I'm gonna go look at one of the bones. Is there anything other than the rust? Like, did it look like they struggled? Were they just kind of sitting there?
As
Laying there?
you kind of like inspect the bodies, any of you that would like to like fan out and kind of look at the room, you would notice that the reddish look of rust is ancient dried bone and little remnants of skin. But for the most part, anything that would have been really soft, it's been hundreds of years. These are, not the life support you can still hear going. So these are not exactly mummies. They are pretty dusted away. And as you kind of interact with the bones, they kind of fall against the ground, crumbling. And you see them, the ones that you don't touch are still mostly intact, sagged and dissolving a little bit as in little bone piles a little. But you see a pair sitting leaned against the bulkhead of an area with like old paper cards in front of them on the floor, mostly dissolved away over time. You see, for the most part, it looked like people just waiting leisurely.
Something abrupt must have happened.
Yeah, none of this makes any sense.
Now, would any of you like to make an awareness check?
Absolutely, I would. Absolutely, I would not.
Yeah, anyone.
I would say
can.
7.
They got into.
Yeah, Finn, you're just like locked in on the guys playing cards, like seeing them like leisurely sitting there. As you kind of like look
Damn
at the
fool
bodies.
could have had a straight.
Yeah, you see the cards near his hand are somewhat legible, but they actually have a bit of clothing still around them. A little bit of like a plastic from a lining of like a lab coat or something. And what else were the rolls?
I failed, but then I rerolled and got an 18.
Because of your ability?
Yeah.
I rolled a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh,
So Xenon, as you're kind of surveying the room, you're just seeing like people resting and waiting. And as you kind of like move off towards one of the sides, you see the sight of one hanging by a noose.
Oh, no.
And you see that there was partially a curtain drawn over them long ago, that some of the rings on it have rusted away. And Oracle, as you turn towards the door, you notice that there are divots in the wall, all along the wall. And that the doorway is wood, entirely wood. But there were, at some point, iron bolts with bars against the door that have just eroded over time. And as you pressed open that door to begin with, that pile of dust in the way is long, ancient stone bars that just kind of gave away weakly. And the rust is accumulated at the bottom. And you see that whatever it was that they were doing was definitely bolted from this side.
No, they were just stuck in here.
Intentional.
I mean, it seems like they didn't have a choice. Like,
Maybe
Or-
the flayers got out.
yeah. Well,
But wouldn't they have died near the front, trying to wait for a ship? Seems kind of strange that they would die in here
I think
and
they
not
were
try to escape.
probably too afraid to get to the front.
Well, if wood was by the door, the flayers wouldn't have eaten through that.
Yeah.
So it was probably the safest place for them. But I guess it also explains why the flayers are now all throughout the galaxy.
And sometimes they're really cute, but some of those big ones are not so cute.
Not that cute, no.
Yeah. Can I look around? Are there any like preserved like personal effects, like any like photos or letters or anything?
Yeah, I think as you like look around, you would notice that there are signs that people were kind of here for a little while. Like, kind of looks like months. Like you see nothing so personal as like a like, I don't know, a photo of a loved one in a locket or anything like that. But you do see just like drawings and paintings and like what they were is kind of obscured by time. But you see that people were just doing things over time and leisurely, and that there is a suspicious lack of personal effects. That at a glance, it doesn't look like anyone intended to be here for this long a time ever.
Yeah. I'll still take a few things, just like whatever.
Yeah.
Can I go back to the computer and attempt to see if there's like any journal entries from any of them, and see if there are any, like on the system as a whole?
Yeah, as you go to the computer that Oracle had worked on, you start looking through some of the files, and you do see some slightly more like pressing, urgent things that would have been worth reading. You see a lot of like subfolders, and you start tapping away through them, and you do see a few small logs, and then you see that there is a log that mentions trashing evidence. So we're in the process of deleting. Hopefully things, hopefully this research is gone forever. And then you tap into the trash of this drive and see that there's only a few files in there. It looks like things were kind of being pushed in and out, and then something moments after that last log was written, you see that these were sent to the trash. And within that, you do see a second project, unnamed, but something separate from the Flare program. And it was all deleted. All that remains is that there was this classification, that there was another project at this station.
Okay. I'm going to call Oracle. Oracle! Can you come here for a minute? Probably like 10 minutes. They're just going to...
Specific, but okay.
I'm just trying to give you more time to work. You're good with computers? It says here that they deleted something, but I can't seem to find it. You think you can find it, or at least know where it could have gone?
I can try, but this is technology that's 400 years old.
Well, maybe if we can connect Juniper to here, that computer knew about this place. Maybe it can dig deeper.
Are you saying the ship's 400 years old, Cap?
No,
Did you buy a
I'm
400-year-old ship?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the system knew this was here, so it must be able to connect to this somehow.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, from the point drive, maybe. And yeah, is there any way for me to, like, upload everything from this computer onto Juniper?
Sure. I think that's something that you would be able to figure out how to do. It would just take time depending on. So you still roll.
I only got 10 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be faster. The higher you roll, the faster this is going to go.
Okay.
Can each of you roll an awareness check for me?
I am unaware.
I'm
Me too.
super unaware.
Everyone was unawares, right? Finn, did you roll as well for an awareness check?
15.
15. So Oracle, what was your tech check there for the
I didn't do
reroll on
that
that?
I rolled 2 18s.
2
Plus
18s.
3, 21.
Okay, so you know this is going to take no more than like 3 minutes to start transferring everything. You'll get some files as you go. But for the rest of you, Finn turns on a dime as his head points towards the way that you had come from before. And you hear the absolute, no way to disguise it, sound of a gunshot. Laser ripping through the room,
Jesus.
well beyond. And then you hear a second, and a third, And then the rest of you definitely clue in as 4 or 5 shots are fired, then 6, and then screaming happens from the rooms that you had been in before. Not the tunnel down below, but the area that you had come from. And Oracle, you get flicking on your display in pink, exclamation, exclamation, docking, ships, here. Then shooting and screaming is ringing out from the room before you.
Well, the Imperials are here.
What are they fighting? Where's Jack?
Yeah. That's a great question. They could be. Oracle, stay here and we go? Check. I mean, there's no other way to go.
Is there a door that we can like lock in any way for where we are currently?
You could go back into the room where the other people did the same thing.
Yeah, that worked out really well for them. So,
Well, we do have the element of surprise. We could just hide until they come here, and we'll just. You guys can do what you guys do best.
I'll tell you what.
all right.
I can scout ahead a little bit. I can turn invisible. Maybe I'll go a little forward and just see if I can stealthily get us some information.
I could also send a sentry that will not get injured forward to do the same thing.
How sneaky is it?
I mean, what does it look like?
There are
Okay.
several ships docking, from what Juniper has said.
Yeah, as you look, she looks back and sends you logs that says like they docked like 20 minutes ago. And then you just hear, sorry, home scratched out, home scratched out, home scratched out. And she, the pink mind within you is kind of freaking out. And you continue to hear escalating shots and fire, and it begins to turn into a full-on battle in the room before you.
Okay, Finn, go for it.
Okay.
We'll catch up.
Yeah.
As I run forward, I just fade into invisibility.
Yeah, fade into invisibility, running.
Yeah.
You break your way through the cavern tunnel up into the other room. Roll guile for me anyway.
Yep.
You got the, what is it, like this huge plus
6.
Yeah. You should be fine.
Don't say that. Shut up. Jay, motherfucker. That's an 11.
An 11. That's good enough. That's a pass roll. Yeah.
It was on like 20, and then you're like, you'll be fine. It was like,
and then it kept
4.
going. You felt it. As you break out into one of the more research areas that you saw before, you see that one of the glass capsules in this room explodes, and inside, for a split second, you see one of these dried up husks of a flare, of a baby flare, just resting in the glass as it explodes open. Beyond it, you see Imperial uniforms. Their backs to you, firing out as they're stepping against the near, like moving their way from the center of the room towards the right, crouching over some of the metal desks and outcroppings, and firing lasers at dark, shifting shapes as they dart through the space around you. And what would you like to do?
I got one move, and it's crazy. How well lit is that room?
It's very dark. Like there's some of the dim lighting, and then it's just whenever lasers go off, you see something shifting through the dark on the opposite of the lasers.
Okay. Okay. So like a blackout grenade isn't. There's not a lot it's gonna do in there.
Yeah, a
I
blackout.
can't with you with this freaking blackout grenade.
I mean, there are things. There are the sublights that are still running. There's the Imperial soldiers that have armor and stuff. You could, if you want, as they're fighting for their lives, it seems. So.
All right. Very quietly on the radio, I'm gonna go. Okay, so there's a bunch more of the flares, and the Imperials are currently fighting them. I don't know if we want to help them or let them all die.
And
Also,
as you're saying that, one of them like gets up from where it's running and looks up something over its shoulder and darts away across the room, saying like, "Jesus fucking Christ!" And it's shooting as it's running away full speed. And if you wish to look in the direction, you can make an awareness check to see if you catch it. As the silhouette of this thing darts back into the edge of the room.
yeah, absolutely. Hold on. I need to make an awareness?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to activate Deciphering Eye as well then.
Okay. Yeah, you blink it up. It gives you
another
help
plus
on that
4.
roll.
Yeah. So now I think I'm working with like a plus 7 or something. Yes. Okay, so that's a lot. 23.
Okay. As you see the deciphering eye flick up, connecting to your display, you see it flicks through the settings really quick. Light, normal, nothing. Zooms in a little bit. You see it flick to heat vision, very slight something, a little bit of blue, etching out
Okay.
to look almost humanoid in shape. Flicks into dark vision, night mode. You see in absolute horror the outline of a human skeleton with too many limbs made of some kind of like reflective metal, as this is pinning it with UV light. Unhinging limbs and like a full-on visage of a human skull aloft by very, very thin metal wiry framework of a body as it lunges back down under one of the desks and on all fours flicks its way across the side of the opposite end of the room.
Like Umber?
Not like Umber.
Okay.
Very
I was
human
like,
skull.
Hold on.
With like a metal like skeleton that is
Okay.
not exact. It has an extra extension to its arms, an extra extension to its legs.
In my mind went to Flood, but with Umber Goop instead.
Yes,
So
yes.
I was like,
No, think
now
more
I am gonna
Terminator.
kill him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want his skills.
Yeah.
Like, give me what he has.
Well, yeah, a little bit more of
Fuck.
a horrifying Terminator, but you do notice there is a difference in some of the texture between the head and the body of this thing, this skeletal face of it, as it darts away. And then you hear one of the Imperials as it crashes into them, hit the ground screaming, and laser shoots off towards the ceiling aimlessly.
Okay, I need to know. There's some like fucked up experiments out here or something that are killing the Imperials. Are we helping them, or am I just watching and waiting?
How much time do I have left on this file transfer?
Like a minute and a half, probably a little. I'd say 2 minutes. Like he just went into that room, so we're being graceful to say a minute's passed.
Do I have to
Is the
be
way to the
here?
chip open?
Oracle, you would have to be there because this is a non-networked machine. Like you would have to. Umber, sorry, what were you saying?
I asked Ben, is there a clear way to the ship that we can sneak past?
I'm assuming that answer is fuck no, right?
This room is fairly large. The combat more or less is happening like on the structures within the room. People are hiding behind desks and firing out. You do see like on the edges of these rooms in like what is almost total darkness, there's a pathway through.
Okay, so maybe we can get around all the fighting.
I think we
that's
go
maybe.
in the chaos. What are they gonna do?
Okay, so we're not helping them. We're just gonna let them die. I'm fine with either option. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
They can escape. If we can escape, they can escape.
Okay, then I'm gonna stay posted up here for a while and keep watching. If anything starts coming down the tunnel, I'll haul ass back.
All
Yeah,
right.
we have to wait till Oracle is done. So give us a
I need 2 minutes.
look at Oracle.
The other
2 minutes.
one thing I do want to mention as well is that if they dock, they did probably see our ship. So I don't know what
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of condition our ship's going to be in once we get back to it.
Well, hopefully their ships are okay.
Okay, right, but like there could be people in the ship waiting for us or something. That's all I'm saying. I just,
Deal with that.
And Vin,
Alright,
in the room
guess
with you, you now see a few of the Imperial soldiers are clearly communicating through their headsets, and they get up at the same time, kind of in front of you from some of their cover, and you can hear the screaming from inside their headsets as they run across the room, gunning towards the guy who was getting attacked by the thing, shooting up towards the ceiling. And then you see from the outsides 2 more jump in from the shadows, latch onto some of these Imperials, and one of them shirks it off to the side, throwing it away, and you see its body is incredibly like thin and spidery, and it throws it off towards one of the sides where you hear it scramble against something as it knocks a computer over and smashes into a desk, and then they start firing at it, and the fight's just kind of breaking out, but moving away from you a little bit towards the center of the room. And for the moment, no one has spotted you, nothing has seen you, but you do hear scratching as something is slithering a little bit towards you from the front.
from the front?
Yeah.
Can I see it?
As you kind of like look down, you see that there is an Imperial soldier on all fours climbing arm over arm, and turns around, shoulders up against one of the desks looking up over it. It's like, Harry Potter style cloak. You're right there, but he doesn't see you. And he's looking up over at the bit of the firefight, and he's heavily breathing within his suit.
Does he look
And,
hurt?
He looks a little bit scared. No blood, no injuries. The armor isn't even affected. But what you notice is that this armor is incredibly ornate. It has like shoulder pauldrons coming off. You see there are like a stripe coming down on the side. That like it's just like this golden line that comes down over his chest, and he is just looking up over the fight, and you can at a glance tell this is probably their commander or whatever.
What I recognize is, like, do I think it's her brother?
You notice at the split second of the call that you had that this is Xenon's brother, and he is a very high-ranking Imperial officer.
How far away is he? Like
honestly,
inches?
like like a foot or two. Yeah, giving you some breathing room, but yeah, real close.
Okay. How much sound travels outside my suit when I don't want it to? Like if I'm talking.
If you talk at a normal volume, no one hears it. It's
okay.
like the muffled screaming is kind of
fair.
How it works.
Xenon, your brother is, I'm pretty sure, having a panicked attack about a foot away from me at the moment. Do you want me to save his life or not?
Only if he's in super mortal danger.
Okay. Fine, whatever. And I click off the communication, and I'm going to lean down right beside his head.
Okay.
And out loud, I'm going to say, hey there, chump, you doing all right?
He rolls a nat 1. I'll even take a picture. Yeah, he fucking screams. You see like that thing where like your shoulders go up and your eyes go wide, like just from a simple sound that shouldn't be scary. He loses it and he's looking around, doesn't see anything. Gun up. How close are you doing by any chance? Like,
oh, like I went beside his head for this.
Okay.
Like
So-
right beside one ear sort of thing.
Yeah, he just raises the gun up and just notice for a split second it like just rebounds off something a little bit, and it just like you feel a little bump off your shoulder as you're kind of in real close, and he's like a gun all over the place, and he starts skirting off towards the middle of the room.
No, I'm gonna try to grab him and not let him go in the direction of murder and death.
Okay, yeah, you grab onto him.
Just stop for a second.
And you just hear like opening through comms, like what the fuck? And is this an officer? Is this Jim? Are you in disguise?
Is Jim also Irish? Because I don't think I know an Irish Jim.
Are you
But
saying
if
that
he
to
is-
him?
Yeah, 100%.
You're not from my fucking squad. Who are you?
No, I'm not. I'm with your sister. Calm the fuck down.
And
Are you okay?
Like, for a second, he's like trying to calculate, put things together. Like, okay, that makes sense. There would be people here. We're coming for people. Yeah, everything's good. And then you see, as from the opposite corridor of these desks, from the opposite end of the room, you see on all fours one of these creatures come back, turning over, and with your like a little bit of the periphery light and the laser shooting overhead for a split second, you see like the full-on human skull, dried out, normal, everything's there but the bottom jaw, with the spine and everything moving down, spinal cord, but then the metal of its body is like extra extensioned arm, extra extensioned limbs, just a very basic exoskeleton of thin wiry metal limbs and everything coming out from it, and it's coming towards you, almost like sniffing with its head. You see it like shaking back and forth, picking up something.
Sir, back away slowly. Just back away with me.
Make a guile check for me.
Yep.
And the rest of you, is there anything you're doing? Oracle, you've still got like a minute and a half on this thing. What would you like to do?
I need to be here to finish this. Do we want to transfer all the data?
Cap,
Captain?
I think it's worth it, right?
Yeah, I think so. And it's only a minute and a half. But I will protect you, and I'll go.
You
I'll
two
point
should
the gun
probably
towards the
help everybody then.
Yeah, well,
Are you crazy?
maybe we just it's 2 minutes, so it's okay. We can just wait. It's
Okay.
fine. Cap, there was something I wanted to ask you though.
Sure.
Are you mad at me and Finn?
And as you say that, there is just screaming from the other room. And Finn, you see the one that was going towards you reacts to the other guys like in a war cry and climbs up over the desks like a spider. And it like the feet on this thing are like sharp enough where they rip away chunks of the desk as it clambers on over everything. And you just see it dive at one of the guys. And within like a quick motion, you see as it grabs into like the shoulder blades of him and just rips them up. And the arms just go side to side in the dark of the room.
All right, you're coming back with me, okay? I'm trying to get you out of here. No malice or anything like that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. In some ways, you're also coming with me. We're going together. We're gonna go together.
I mean, I could have just shot you in the back and killed you. So maybe let's just call it square for now and not talk like that. Yeah.
Just because you had the jump on me, it doesn't mean that I wouldn't have. Yeah, we got Imperial armor on. I wasn't as scared.
Do you
as
want to test it?
I just was thinking, is the
Right.
thing.
Yeah, sure, for sure. Do you want to test it?
You
Just real quick, do you know what a prime meridian
see
is?
reflectively shields apply again, and you just see that quick shimmer.
God, you're such a little bitch. Just follow me.
And he lifts up and stands up straight to eye the thing, and just starts firing at it right away. We're clearing a path. We're clearing a path. We're going. We're doing a hot exit, everybody. We're getting out of here. And he starts firing at the thing as it's. You see now it's perched over the guy that ripped its arms off, and the head of it is moved towards where the opening in the armor is.
Yeah.
And you can see it's peeling it away, trying to get inside fully. And then two more of them screaming shoot off towards the side of the room as they kind of get jumped, and they fire off one of them, and you see the laser kind of shoots through the skull of this thing, and it parts with like a black smoke as the laser light dissipates, and then the thing like kind of crumples over before very inchingly coming back towards them, and they kind of like scuttle off to the other side of the room as Xenon's brother. I don't know if she ever revealed what her name is.
I have no idea what his name is.
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's fine. I'm gonna sneak away.
He's
and go
charging to like clear a path, and he's shooting and
back. I'm going the other way.
going
Fuck
forward.
it.
And you tuck your way back.
I can't fix stupid. I just
And slowly, as you're kind of getting your way out of there, can you make a guile check?
Yep, 100%.
This room's a bit of a battle zone, a lot of
That's
debris
a
everywhere.
16.
16. You're able to make your way out unseen, you believe, and slowly you guys hear the sounds of battle die out as Finn makes his way into your room. You hear one voice screaming, "We're making a path, we're making a path," and he's as you know, your brother's voice gets smaller and smaller as he's doing whatever he's got to do to get the hell out of here now.
All right, Oracle, you ready?
Run back into the room and just like turn off the invisibility. I hope you don't love that brother too much, because
Is he being a hero?
Hard maybe.
Mm,
There's a chance. It's not a good one, but I think there's a chance.
yeah, I don't know. He'll follow us. I'm sure he will.
He might die.
What am I looking at for a time frame now?
Yeah, we'll say like the download's wrapping up. It seems like you're firm on getting this, and so as like the sounds of battle kind of die out in the other room, you just hear like sparse shots, like laser, 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 and then scream, and that goes quiet, and then another laser scream, that goes quiet, and then download complete.
Okay, as soon as I see the download complete for copying the computer, I smash it.
Okay, yeah, no strength test. This thing is not. It's glass and metal, no problem. Yeah, it is obliterated.
I don't want a copy of this anywhere.
Yeah. Okay, and it is destroyed. And yeah, you guys are now free to do what you like.
Yep.
And there's no other
Team?
exits out of here, right?
Unfortunately, not. It's
No worries.
it's just a mining operation, and one way in, one way out.
Team,
Captain.
Yes, Cap.
Yeah.
it was. If anything happens, just want to say it was fantastic working with you
Oh, thanks,
up until. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, I'm
up
sure.
until when?
Until
nothing-
when?
When was it not good?
Oh,
I thought we were
like,
bonding.
Yeah, I meant like till now, because like we might die. That's all I meant.
Just
Does he have to roll deception or?
That's up to Umber. Are you telling the truth? Or are you?
I'm deceiving.
Okay.
Deceiving.
You don't have to say. You just roll. But
Oh, I'm not. I'm letting them know. Oh, that's a 9.
So yeah, if you're being deceptive, they are fairly aware.
I'll
Umber,
turn to
are you-
Xenon and be like, is he mad at us?
Umber, are you
Let's
Umber,
talk about
honestly-
this later.
are you mad or scared?
More scared, but yeah, we'll talk about this later. Yeah, let's just get to the ship. Let's just sneak away. Anyway, all I wanted to say is it was fantastic working with you. If anything happens, you could not have chosen. Yes. Oracle, scratch that.
And you hear a
So,
scream
Cap,
ring out
let's
from the other room. And it is a long, blood-curdling scream that slowly fades to choking. Audible choking.
Okay,
Get
Follow
our,
me.
it's time to go now.
Yeah, and let's run back through. I mean, immediately gonna look for my brother when we get there.
Can any of you turn invisible as well by any chance?
No.
Nope.
Shit. That hurt.
Okay, you four book it together. Finn, are you using your invisibility? Do you have the energy for that?
I can run it one more time if I need to, but I'm gonna wait
Okay,
until I think I need it.
Okay, so y'all make your way to the end of the room. Finn, you kind of like lead them up to the side, skirting back to where you were before. You guys can see in like the very dim glow. If any of you turn headlights on, you got to let me know. But at the moment, it is mostly dark with a very little bit of light in the middle of the room. And you just see like under the dim light an arm reaching out into the darkness, blood streaking like a lot of the desks and computer screens, and you hear the sound of wet crunching off to your right, which is opposite direction. Finn's kind of leading you as you make your way into this room. Yeah.
I'll go on the comms. Be like, okay, so there's some kind of weird skeleton things that are in the business of ripping people apart and eating them.
So the secret project they were deleting.
Yeah.
Probably. Oracle, I think you're probably not as much of a, target for them. And just saw them going really for the fleshy bits. So you might be okay. I don't know for sure.
I'll
Otherwise,
protect the flesh beast.
much appreciated.
Thanks, Oracle.
Lead the
Okay.
way and go.
Okay.
We don't have time to waste.
So as each of you kind of move instinctively away from that wet crunching towards the left dark side of this room, can you make a guile check for me? Unless
Dirty
you are
20.
not going stealthily. Okay, that's one.
We better fucking be going stealthily.
I ain't going stealthy.
Oh, because you rolled
10,
bad, not because
okay.
you're trying not to.
I rolled a 6.
14.
Okay.
Actually, is the shadow only used once?
Like your
Like my
ability?
character talent?
No, it's whenever you can kind of pick out that it's a small group. Yeah, you can use it. So if
So
you
since
are
no one-
aware that you see a big group, it's not going to work. You can roll when you think it's a small group, but you just tell me both rolls. You don't know if it worked or not. There could be more people hiding.
Okay. Then 10. Then 10 was mine.
Okay. Sorry, anyone who got more than a 13?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The fleshies.
Yeah. So Xenon and Finn, you begin to, I guess Xenon right behind Finn, you guys kind of like move towards that left side of the room, steering clear of the debris. Xenon, you kick into something for a brief moment that's very soft under your foot. And you notice it's like the detached arm, still in suit, still in armor, with no person attached, and you step over it, moving
Ew.
to the opposite side of the room. Oracle, as you're walking, your metal feet are sometimes very hard to control. You're going as slow as you can, but you never know the objects that you're going to hit before you hit them. And you just hear the sound of metal on metal as something in the dark crunches underfoot. And in a moment, you see 3 heads, humanoid, skull-like, lurch up towards you. What do you do? You're muted. But the stunned silence fits.
It does.
In my head, it's on the comms. Uh-oh. Run?
Already?
Yes. I start taking
Start
out
running.
the breaching tool. just in case.
Okay, you start unwinding the breaching tool from your back. Are you continuing to move, or did you?
Yeah.
Okay, you're still going, and you notice as you're walking that the heads in the dark are following you. Umber, what was your roll? I know you failed, but okay, just a little bit. But yeah, you as you're standing behind Oracle, who crunches into a can, stops for a split second. You bump into him, and you just feel your whole body's kind of, your head inside your membrane slosh up against everything. And then you see also the heads turn and are following Oracle as he starts pulling something from his back. And then you two begin to see that the heads are jerking up and down with some kind of rhythm to it. And Xenon and Finn, you can a little bit see this, but you're focused forward, moving, continuing towards the edge of the room. Can we get another stealth check?
Oh, you better believe it.
Do I still need to do stealth checks, or I am very detective?
They're aware of you at the moment, but still another check.
15.
Don't want to go invisible yet. Nah, not yet.
12 for me.
Okay.
Dirty 20 again.
Ooh.
13.
Okay, so for the two that are detected, it's got to be a 15 or higher. They're aware of your presence. They're scouting. Did either of you pass? You see that they begin to stand up. All of you can see this. Xenon, did you pass your roll? It's just a normal 11 for you. And you guys can continue. You are now at the exit of this room, able to do the corridor into the previous room. When you see that the three creatures, unseen to you before now, stand up to their full height of about 7 feet, and you see these long, hunched bodies with these exoskeletal metal arms and legs with one extra extension to it, with a human spinal column and skull attached into it. And you see as they kind of start moving with their heads jerking up and down just a little bit, walking towards Oracle and Umber.
Shoot.
I ready a blackout grenade.
I distanced myself a bit from the fleshies.
Okay, so you slow your pace a little bit.
I go away from them.
The only way away is to the middle of the room, closer to the ambient light of the basic lighting in this room, towards the opposite side where they are. They're in the opposite corner, but the middle is closer to them. There's no way left. You're hiding in the shadows on this side.
Okay, so I'll just slow down a little, so I'm a little bit further away from everybody, since I'm aware that I've been detected.
Yeah.
Are we turning a corner?
It's just a big open room, but there's lots of debris. Finn and Xenon are about to go into a corridor that goes to the next room. There's a bit of a corner there, but that's what it.
Is there a torso on the ground?
There's like 3 dead guys in here on this side that you would have stepped over by now, or around anyway.
Okay, I'll grab not the biggest one, but one that's at least got chest.
Okay.
And I'm attaching the breaching charge to it and holding it up in front of me.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I respect it.
Yeah.
As a grenade lover, I respect it.
As soon as you lift the corpse up, you instantly see 2 of them stop their stalking mode, and they begin to shift and full lunge at you. Right as you're putting the breaching charge. Can you give me a finesse check, as they're basically leaping at you in action while you're attaching this thing?
I rolled an 11.
An 11 is just a basic pass. It's good enough. And you see that one of them claws onto the body. You can make a strength test now, and they're going to try and push you, by gravity alone, the force of their movement towards the ground.
Natural 1.
Yeah, you smash into the ground fucking hard. All 3 of their attention is now pinned on you, and you see the other 2 definitely dart towards you, clambering onto the body as this breaching charge is applied.
Can I, as I see this, can I run and just do like a check
For
to
one
get
of them
them
that are
off?
coming? Yeah, as you see 2 kind of climb on, you see a third one. Make a strength or finesse. It's totally up to you to see if you're able to get at them.
15.
Yeah, you're able to tackle one of them, and they don't even like see you at the moment. Like you could tell that they're focused fully on that torso that Oracle lifted, and they kind of spin off, and then kind of lock eyes with you, and you see their head shake up and down as they slowly stalk towards you.
Can I
You
grab my?
fools.
What's up?
Can I just grab my Captain Crunch hat and just stick it over its head?
Okay, yeah, make a finesse roll for me as he's like moving its way towards you. And Oracle, what are you doing?
That's a 14.
14.
I
Yeah, you
turn
put
it
it
on.
over its head, and it starts to claw outwards. Oracle,
Yeah, turn it on.
you turn it on in full-on melee range of this thing.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's like torso, breaching charge,
Yeah.
aiming through the torso, and then me.
Yeah. It's not exactly C4 where it's entirely one directional, but it'll help you a little. Let me just.
Can we roll a d4 to see how much time we have and get Oracle out of there?
Yeah. Like. Okay.
Oh man.
It's the breach tool.
Listen, he learned
is,
from the best, I guess.
The breach tool is kind of a binary thing where either it kind of works or it doesn't. And when it works,
Okay.
it's enough to punch a hole through a ship. Standard ship has like a hull breaching value of at least like 10 structure HP. How much health do you have?
Oh my
Me?
God.
Yeah,
26.
26. Okay.
And I'm wounded.
So the way that structure to human size is double, basically.
Okay.
I'll double check that, make sure it's not more. I don't think it is, but it's supposed to be about double. So that would be 20 damage flat. It's just breaching damage, and I think you would be aware of how intensely disruptive this is. I'd say
Yes.
it'll be reduced by D4 because you have a full. It's not just a flesh torso; it is also the armor of an Imperial soldier in front of you. So that'll act as D4 armor reduction. So roll that.
The 2.
Roll the 2. So you're taking 18 full damage, not reducible unless you have shields active.
Does armor impacted at all or no?
Armor. This is designed to breach
Go
through it. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That is hard math. All right, I'm at 8.
Okay, that's
Still
not the
pretty good.
worst. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not the worst. And it is a massive explosion in the opposite direction, designed to breach a ship. 2 of these creatures are instantly bisected with the explosion. Some of their limbs are scattered off to the side. Umber, as you are putting the hat over one of these things, can you make a strength test for me?
Oh, good. 14.
You see Oracle start a breaching charge indoors, are able to, as you feel like the blast of this thing, you're able to move wherever you would like to get out of the way of harm. The one with the Captain Crunch hat goes spilling to the ground in the opposite direction, clawing at things around it, and the ceiling begins to crumble in around you with like in a massive diameter. We're talking like the entire wall to your left is exploded away for like 15 feet. The ceiling 30, 40 feet up is all rock and coming down now. So you have a split second where you see everything like shockwave in your mind's eye, and then like 30, 40 tons of asteroid rock is going to be coming spilling down. And then you also see cracks as the ceiling and asteroid around it begin to shatter as well, because there's a massive discharge of pressure in here.
I love this.
And the whole place begins to start crumbling. And Finn, Xenon, at the bulkhead, you can see that like the metal where everything is chill, but the rock around it is beginning to crumble. Oracle, what's your finesse or agility to?
Come on,
Can
bud.
I run to Oracle and try to pull him out? Like, so it's kind of an
14?
advantage.
14 is okay. I don't think you can outrun gravity with a 14, but you're able to like, because you also like are still in the explosion while this is happening, you're able to like at least get up onto like hands and knees, start moving your way over. Umber, are you choosing as you see this explosion go off to run toward it? Because this is like a half-second decision. So you see breaching charge going off, and you are going to run towards it.
You did hear
Okay.
before the breaching charge went off, I said run away.
I can't let Oracle die. I'm going to try to save
It's
him.
the only
Okay,
crew
so-
member you still like.
As soon as it lights up, Umber's already made the decision that he's going into the explosion. He shirks off the blast of it. Make a strength test as Oracle is like trying to get up to the ground as the rocks start crumbling down around you guys.
14.
14. Yeah, you're able to lift him up. Everybody now, you can make finesse and agility rolls as the ceiling and rock around the bulkheads of this area is all coming down. You don't know if it's going to be the whole way, but at least the area you're in is being fucked up.
Do I need to make
As I'm
another?
pulling Oracle out, I need you. You can't let me stay with these people.
How loud is that? Do I hear that?
At the moment, there's a explosion. So if he's going through
Mm-hmm.
comms, maybe you'll get a crackle of that. But
The explosion already happened. I'm just saying.
yeah, okay, true. This is more the rock is coming down around
Yeah.
you. So okay. So
I
anyone
ready my
over an
gun.
11?
I got a 15 on
I
my
got an 11.
finesse.
Yep, 11.
I got
11
a
up.
10.
Okay. So
Sorry, are we rolling agility?
or finesse, whichever. It's either you're going full speed or you're being careful, but both are fine. Okay, so anyone under an 11, you're going to be taking a d4 damage as
Oh,
rocks and stuff are coming down around you. And not just a one, just a little rock. Just
Great.
dings off the armor. No big deal. As you're able to full on run around, you hear from behind you a voice scream out and say, "Don't leave me here," as rocks kind of crumble down. You see one of the officers was absolutely playing dead, and collides. Rock goes down over him. You see crunching as you're running.
He doesn't have to play anymore.
Run,
Whoopsie.
run.
Oh yeah, we're going.
And full speed if you like. You could roll agility finesse again as the cracking in this room begins to shuffle down, and you see like full on shards of asteroid, like 8 feet across, crashing down.
I got an 8.
An 8.
Natural 20.
14.
Okay, Umber, you can roll again. So you see Finn directly in harm's way with a natural 20. You can actually react to that and change his outcome, but he'll be rolling just a d4 damage otherwise.
Do I just roll again?
Yeah.
11.
That's just enough. So he's able to pull you out of the way with his nat
Thanks,
20.
Cap.
And you guys are able to continue full speed. You see here that there are like almost a dozen like fully dead bodies as you're running through this next area. And that, you know, the AI had claimed that multiple ships were docking, and there's not multiple ships of people out here anymore. But there are potentially multiple ships of corpses. As you run into the next area, you're able to make another check for me as the continued explosion continues here as you make your way to the next area.
21.
15.
Crush it.
18.
Okay, no problem. That seems like you got an 11 plus there.
I got a 12.
12.
Okay.
So no problem. You're all able to, like, you're getting ahead of it now as things are coming down behind you. And Xenon, you see your brother as you break out into the next area, like hand under the bottom jaw missing of this creature. He starts ripping the bone skull of this thing off. And you see as he's like pulling off the head of this thing that the bone is crumbling away, and a like string like pink crystalline membrane is being ripped away from the inside of this skull, and it begins pulsing outwards with a bathing pink light, and it crumbles to the ground as he rips off the top of the skull, and as it's falling backwards, he reaches in and crushes this crystalline membrane that looks shockingly like your point drive system. And
I go,
it falls-
wow, Xander, really impressive.
He immediately turns one-handed with a gun towards you. Just, holy fucking Christ, Xenon. We gotta go.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
Yup.
Now's not the time.
Oh, hi there, champ.
We gotta go. This
How
way.
clear in the path go?
And he takes point and he starts running, soldier running, as you see him go forward towards the path. And the crumbling behind you continues. It's going to be a bit easier now, 8, as you guys make your way from the explosion. One more run, an ability check, as you agility finesse, make your way out of the blast zone
You
towards
lowered
the
the DC, so I'm screwed.
Yeah, yeah. Got a 7.
Oh my god,
Oh
everybody.
my god. I got a 20.
dock. Okay, so Xenon, you and your brother, have you want to say what's his name to you?
Xander. His name is
Okay.
Xander.
You and
Yeah, I know that
Xander
name.
are peeling off like shoulder and shoulder, sprinting. That Imperial family making their way out of another sticky one, no problem.
Oh my
While
fucking
everyone
God.
else, as you are making your way, the body of this thing, its unhinged arms and legs are in a death knell, grabbing out and grab onto each of you in your armor. This is basically an impaired condition. You can definitely still move. It'll just be the D3 of damage as it's ripping through you. Or you're still here and you'll be.
I use my mission a bit.
Yeah, what does that let you do?
Twice per mission, you can end the spark or impair condition on yourself.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you're able to just break out of it and continue on, no problem. Don't even take damage. Just skirt out as like things fall around you. But the other two, you can choose to endure and stay here, or it's going to be the D3 damage. But there are 2 ticks of impair, so it'll last for 2 rounds, and you'll have to continue through it a little bit. But
Yeah, I'm gonna try to break out of it. Is what I was.
Yeah, I'll try to
trying
break
do.
out.
okay, so yeah, you can do. I think there's also a resilience option, right?
Oh, is there?
Unless I'm
Oh,
thinking of
yeah.
a different thing, but yeah.
there is
yeah. You
resilience.
can choose resilience 11 to act anyway without taking the damage.
Sure, I'll try that. My resilience
That's a
is
12.
awful.
Good enough.
Dirty 20.
There you go. So you both are, you could feel it starting to pierce the armor around your legs, but you just start dragging it instead. And you can see like the thing's head is still shaking, like that predatory sense that it has. But the brain inside is like definitely pulsing out and is sloshing around as the front of this thing's head's been ripped off. And as we do one last check for you two, since you were impaired, you can either roll your resilience or just take the damage and do a speed check instead.
Try resilience again.
Both of you.
Yeah, I rolled a
Natural
9.
1.
Oh no! So you're just taking the D3 damage as
Sure.
it definitely pierces through and rips away at some of you.
Yeah.
So
Love
it's
it.
just 1 damage, not mitigated. But it just slices a bit at your legs, and you guys are able to go, bleeding but alive. The rest of you make your way out, scrambling out to the dock section. You see 3 Imperial ships, and you see Xander for a moment looking out at them. You see his head up on his helmet, and he starts going towards his ship. He looks to you, Xenon. I don't care where you're going. You can come with me. Consider us even. Things are flat. I don't care what you've done. We got bigger fish to fry. You want to come with me? We could take my ship, get the hell out of here. If you want to take your junker, that's up to you. And you see that there is a lock system around the dock holding your ship in place. And he just takes a shot with the rifle, shoots it clean off. I'll forget you guys this time, but Xenon, where are you coming? With me or with these?
I look between him and that security of that ship and
Mhm.
going home and look at these guys. You can call me and I'll just run towards the Juniper's Eye.
Okay. Then I will classify that you got away before I arrived here. The hunt may still be on, but I'll forget for now. And he just climbs up onto the airlock of his ship, and you see it start to close in around him.
I throw on comms real fast. I say, "Hey, do you want me to black out his ship?"
No, it's okay. Not this
Okay.
time.
Just thought I'd ask.
Thanks, Finn. That was really nice of you.
Hey, no worries.
Growth.
I asked.
And then doors close, Xander gone, and you guys are able to, with the locking brace shot off your ship, able to get into your airlock. At the moment, as you start to like pile up into the airlock, you do see one of these creatures on all fours dragging itself towards you, skull face intact, and its limbs on the ground shattered in some places. And you see a lot of its chest is like molten a little bit and rent away. And you can tell this is one of the ones that endured the explosion as two of its remaining limbs scrape its way towards you.
I'll take a shot.
Okay. The rest of you are piling into the airlock. Finn, take that shot.
Yeah. That is a 20.
20. Yeah. How do you kill it?
I just want it like, because it's like it's piercing. I just want like through the head, down the torso, like just ride the spine the whole way.
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to, like, as it's climbing, kind of turning that corner, its body straightens out, take the shot through the head, through the vertebrae, burns it.
This gun's fucking fantastic.
And it falls without movement. And the rest of you pile into the ship. The airlock begins its work. You repressurize. Everything is a-okay. And what would you like to do?
I think we need to. I'm assuming like is the whole asteroid starting to kind of like crumble away now?
No, for the most part, like
Okay.
it's kind of stabilized. Like
Got it.
a breaching charge is powerful, but it's not. It's a 1.5 kilometer like diameter thing. Like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's it was it's porous, but it's fine now.
Okay.
What's happened has happened.
I'm gonna look at the. What?
Go.
We should leave.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do we still try and collect the money for the job, or?
We don't
I
want
mean-
the bad reputation.
That's what I'm thinking, right? And, money
You
we're
can't
gonna
just
need
leave
it.
a job incomplete.
No, okay,
Right,
perfect.
Captain?
Yeah, I'm just like looking out the window, like my captain hat is gone. just one sec, and then I'll look. There's money on the table, crew. Let's get at it. Let's go get it.
All right, and I'll just
Finn, man the
undock
ship.
this.
Xenon, do math. Oracle. Oracle, go down and make sure the ship is okay. And I'm gonna find myself a new hat.
And as you each peel off to your respective areas of the ship, Finn sliding into the pilot ship, Xenon by his side, ready at the computationals. Oracle, you make your way to the mech room. Umber climbs into his room, looking out at the bay window looking out at the asteroid wall. Within a moment, Finn, you end the docking procedure, make your way full speed out the side of this asteroid. You hear the sparkle of your radios come back. Everything connecting to the outside world. You see a distant battle of Imperial ships swarming around what are pretty clearly Abyss Surfer crew. And then you get a ping on the ship, and you see from Torvis Dax like, "Welcome back, brother. Everything looks good. Hope your body counts are rising. Ours sure is. We're going to be taking off in a moment here. We got to wrangle a few of these. We're going to dip into the hole, get out of here. We hope we can see you maybe Starside in a moment. Glad to see you're alive. You are alive in there, right? Can we get
Yeah, no, we're good.
confirm on
We're
that?
good. That was
You betcha.
interesting.
You haven't been hijacked?
Drive. No,
We
we're
killed
good.
so many imps.
That's what I
killed it.
like to hear. That is
Yep.
what I like to hear. All right, let's go. We'll see you, I don't know, maybe back at the port, maybe. Couple hours. We got some killing to do. Good luck, everybody.
Sure.
And he breaks radio contact as you guys move back towards wherever you would like to go. Space is yours. For the moment, you are free. There is money in the future for a job maybe well done. But that's up to the crew of Juniper's Eye. Is there anything you guys would like to do as we fade away into the black?
I plug
Um,
myself into my recharge station.
Yeah, Oracle, you
There's-
kind of like go
I'm
in
like
for a well-earned
burnt
rest.
black from
Yeah.
the explosions and everything. I've had a moment.
Yeah, you see the ship's medbots come working their way around. And in your display, you see a pink shrug, and then oops, and then sorry, and then home crossed out, home crossed out, home crossed out, and then a thumbs up.
It's just me and Xenon in the cockpit, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was weird. Your brother's kind of a dickhead.
Yeah, whatever. I'm the family disappointment. He's the star student. What do you expect?
Ah, it's one of those.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to come after us, and that means my dad won't come after us for a long time. So I think
Sorry,
we're
who-
set.
Is your dad also in the? I don't know if we've covered this. Is your dad?
He's
in
a little
the-
higher up, yeah.
How much higher up?
Just a little bit.
You're full of shit. All right, let's go.
And I'll just text my brother THX. That's it.
Nice. And you get a response that's just like a till next time. And yeah, as we kind of fade away from Juniper's eye, we see this dinged up orange little ship in the middle of space. We fade out to see Umber, the living slime in a sentient terrarium. Somehow the unlikely captain of this ship.
Surrounded by murderers.
Surrounded by murderers, leaving behind one hell of a crime scene. Is there anything you would like to do as we leave the crew as captain of the ship?
So as we're fading away, you just see me like pull out like this little tiny ass hat that doesn't fit anybody, right on top, and just do a little boop, and then come out those doors and go, "Let's get going, crew!"
And you guys take off towards new jobs and new heists and terrible new crimes. And that's the heists and crimes of Juniper's Eye. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope it's been a fun adventure and journey. It's sure
Hell
been
yeah.
interesting from, I think, our side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. We're the casual ones. This is the finale. This is the end.
That's
We
it.
got other stuff
That's
coming up
all
in the
true.
future.
Yeah.
Watch us on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We got a lot of D&D and Cyberpunk coming up real soon. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and have a good one. See you
See
later.
you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, folks.